Show everybody you bite. You want to show everybody how you bit me earlier, you little asshole? No, it's all right. Oh, wait, I can invite him in. How do I invite him in? Add stream. Add the stream. I figured it out.
I'm stream though, because I got this guy.
You got what guy? Oh, okay. What's up, little mans?
Say what up, Uncle Russ?
What up, man? I'm old. 26.
Well, look, so how you have add to stream?
What?
Oh, you're now in control, man. If you go to the Speakeasy YouTube, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
If you go to the Speakeasy YouTube, you'll get the link, and you can share it to whoever you want to join. You hit the invite button.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Oh, there it is. It just loaded. Oh,
Yep.
shit. You got my picture in there, dude.
You're behind the Steelers trophies too.
Oh, yeah, dude. I like that. That's cool.
So go ahead, spam that bitch, man. I'm about to dip though because I got the baby.
All right, dude. I'll
But
spam
if
that.
you need me, just Instagram message me. My phone's dead right now. I'm gonna get it.
All right, I got you, man.
All right, man. Have fun. Be safe.
Well, dude, I will be safe, man.
All right, man.
All right, you'll have a couple losses when you get back on here. All right.
Hey, it's whatever, man. I'm gonna tap in. I'm gonna comment and fuck with you too. All right. I'm still listening. I can't talk because of the little guy.
All right, brother, man.
All right, man.
All right, here we go. Share, copy link. Here we go. Everybody's coming. Who the fuck is that? Hey, man, my name's Russ. I'm Daniel's friend. That's his name, Daniel, aka Easy. He just gave me control of this show. I'm a little drunk right now. I got my cat here. My cat's name is Panther. We're just here to talk about sports, man. Just anything you want. You want to be invited in the show? Just let me know. I'll send you a link. We can have a good time. How's your day going, Colin? Can you hear me all right? Right now, I'm trying to spam invite people to watch this show. All right, we got Justin. Send it to Abby. We'll send it to Kevin. Hey, Colin. Where are you from, Colin? Can't really see that fast break going on now. We got 3 viewers right now going on strong. How's it going, people? I don't really know who you are. Easy speak words. We got 3 viewers going on. Doing all right here. I'm spam messaging everybody to come support this. Alex Rosario, your tag. All right, cool. Colin, what's your? I'm actually gonna invite you to the thing. Could you leave your Instagram or something that I can type it to, or maybe because if I just type it in the comments, everybody would join. But let me. I want to send you the link to join here. If you could send me some sort of thing I could message you with, we could talk about sports or anything. You're from Playmakers. All right, cool. I got you, bro. Give me 1 second, my bro. Comment, copy. I got you, bro. Playmakers. I got 2 friends here. Alex Rosario, no. Hold on, brother, man. I'm coming. Actually, Alex, do you have my Facebook? Actually, if you could send me a message, that would be great. It makes it easier. Get you on the show, my bro. Get you on the show. Post and playmakers and tag Alex Rosario. All right, cool. I got you. I'm sorry, man. This is my first stream by myself, so I'm trying to figure this out, how this works. I appreciate your patience. What up, Gregory? My boy Greg just said something. Here we go. The Playmakers Lounge. Visit group. Alex members. Here we go. Found you now. Now it's going to be easy, Alex. Alexander Rosario. Added friend. All right, cool. Let's send you a message, Alex. And it is now sent. Boom. Hop into my show, brother man. Pop into my show if you're still there. Can you hear me? I sent you the link. Everybody's joining in here. We're all having fun here. We're all doing things. Yeah, if anybody's got any questions at all, just let me know. We're here watching the game and shit. We got Greg here. I'm actually gonna give my boy a call real fast, see if he wants to join in the stream. He's been texting me a little bit. I'm a little drunk, to be honest. This is Greg. His name's Greg. What up, Greg? You're live on my podcast. How's it going? I'm drunk.
What's good, bro?
I'm trying to get you in my podcast, man. Come join. I'm lonely here.
Oh shit, dude! It lags behind too. Like I'm watching it.
Oh, you can you see the phone? That's cool as shit. Steelers' first loss will be to the Bengals. All right, Colin. I'm not. Some Colin fucker just said that shit. He's not allowed back in this stream no more.
Steelers are not going to lose to the Bengals ever.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's fucking bullshit. Let me invite you. Do you have a mic? Do you have a camera? I'm trying to get people on this stream right now. I got it from my boy Daniel. He owns this thing right here.
Or do you just give me a link or something?
Yes, I can send you a link right now. Hold on. I sent you a link. Just hit the link, bro. Join in. That's my cat doing weird shit over there. Just being a cat, doing things, you know. Fucking or some girl message me back. All right, boys and girls, let's try to get somebody in this thing here. I'm trying to get my friends to get. Okay, Colin said I gotta talk. You're right, I do gotta talk. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get people to join this fucking stream right now. Nobody wants to join. I'm trying really hard. I'm doing my thing. You gotta talk, rookie. LOL. Colin, join my fucking stream. I sent you the shit, and you gotta join it. You know what? Fuck it. I just posted the thing in there 3 times. So if anybody wants to try to join this broadcast, you can join. All you got to do is look in the comments, hit that little button right there, and hit join. In a second, I might have to go. You're too naked. What the fuck? You're too naked, boy. Get your naked ass on this show. We like to see that shit around here. We're on Speakeasy Sports. I told the owner of this site that we were going to have some lawsuits after tonight. So that's what we're doing. Drinking straight up whiskey. I think it's whiskey. Yeah, it is whiskey. I bought this because I went to Tennessee for a Steelers versus Tennessee Titans game. The one that we won, of course. And yeah. Hold on. We got to get Greg in here. Greg's going to join us. All right, guys. Subject, paste, send. We're going to call Greg up real fast. We're going to see if that shit worked or not. I got to stop drinking. I'm getting too drunk for this. Yo, Greg, I sent you my shit. Got to pay me. Do 3-word reactions to NFL schedule. All right, cool. All right, bro. Join my shit, dude. I'm taking over for my friend. This is his thing. He likes to get me on here and do some talking and shit, my boy. We got 4 viewers. How's you? I'm doing a great job.
Hop in, and he said,
All right, cool. See you soon, Bet. Let's get it done. Week 10 easy predictions. Hold on, boys. I'm going to need you guys to wait 1 second. I got pizza coming on my way.
hello?
Hey, is this Domino's?
Yeah, this is Domino's.
All right, I'm just come to the front door. I'll be right there. Thank you. Yo, I'm just getting my pizza. I will be gone for literally like 60 seconds. Actually, I'll be right back, boys. I'm trying to get people in here. I will be back in 60 seconds. Please do not leave, and we will have some funny shit going on. I will give you some predictions. Oh, here's Greg. Everybody talk to Greg. Greg's going to be here for a minute. I got to go get my pizza. I just came in 1 second. Just say whatever the fuck you want, man.
I don't even know what you were talking about. I just happened.
All right, he wants to do week 10 easy predictions. What are your predictions? Hold on, give me 1 second. Literally, give me 1 second.
Week 10, we were reviewing. What's good? I just hopped in. Chill.
Greg the man, the
All right.
legend. Pizza here. Got all the
All right.
pizza.
Bro, you always ordering pizza.
What are you talking about? I've never ordered pizza. I only order pizza on Tuesdays. Today's Wednesday. Holy shit.
Maybe it was you.
All right. What's your favorite team, Greg? We never talked about it. Are you the Eagles fan? You're an Eagles fan.
I was going to say that was a dumb question.
You
As
gotta
much
be
as
an
you know
Eagles.
me.
How's
Die
that?
hard, dude. As shitty as the season we're having right now.
Right. He said, "Bring us to the pizza guy." He wanted to
Bring
see
us to the pizza guy.
it.
I'm actually making pizza tonight too. So
Oh, yeah.
hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
DiGiorno in this bitch. So
DiGiorno. I appreciate you not kicking me out of your league. I know I've been inactive a lot of times.
I try not to just kick people like that.
All right. Colin's talking to us right now. He said Eagles fan. Easy.
What's good?
Week, I think.
Easy. Had Darius Slay on last week. Darius Slay seems like a cool ass dude, and he's a streamer.
Yeah,
I'd love to meet him one day. His wife too. She's like heavily affiliated within the Eagles organization. She does a bunch of giveaways and she interacts like crazy with fans. I think every single day she quote tweets a new fans tweet and like it's pretty dope. Darius Slay was probably one of the few trades other than T.O. early in the years that actually turned out to be actually worked out for us.
Yeah, Colin,
That
how
I
did
can say.
he get Darius Slay on the podcast? You know, Colin, you still there? I hear you said that.
Exactly. I called it. See, Stream 2K. He's a streamer on he goes on Twitch all the time, dude. I
Shit.
think there's like at least once a week. Him, Avante Maddox,
Right.
and I believe LeBlanc has before. They've gotten on a few times together. It's dope though. And Avante Maddox is like really good at Call of Duty. Fun fact.
Juju, I know Juju likes to Twitch and do his little Fortnite shit.
What are you talking about? Juju? Juju is probably one of the most animated football players I've ever seen. Like between his dancing, doesn't he like actively post on TikTok all the time too? Like isn't he like one of those type of guys?
I'm not really sure. I don't really follow TikTok that much.
I've seen other people post it. I don't even have a TikTok.
Easy is a man. Easy is a man. Easy is the guys. He's the person that I'm doing this for. I'm really happy to have you on the show. He just gave me
I was chilling honestly, so
I was fucking crazy. Why do the Eagles suck this year?
why do the Eagles suck this year? I can't deny that though, that we have definitely blown. But
First place is first place, though. You know.
yeah, and Doug Peterson, he's talking about actually getting Carson Wentz out of the pocket a little more, and statistically, he's been like perfect out of the pocket almost. So I mean, it'd be kind of nice to see a little bit of working with your player's strengths rather than Doug Peterson calling whatever he wants to call.
Right.
Because dude, it was like 3rd and 10, and we decided to call like 2 streaks and 2 curl routes. Like you don't think the defense is gonna like easily cover that? You're not gonna run any motions. You're not gonna actively get any of your playmakers in space. You're just gonna wing it. Or no, better yet, he ran a pick play on 4th down twice, which that's a 1 read route, which didn't work either time. So.
Right. Any more questions coming in? Let's think of one question. What So I can't even think. Oh, we got one more comment. First place is first place. For that division is saying I went soft for 5 minutes, but I still hit. Oh, I mean, they're in the playoffs, so they can make some noise, you know. Did you ever think somebody would?
Well, my thing is, I mean, I'm not saying that we're gonna make any noise, but the Eagles are that type of team that you'd be like, oh yeah, they're gonna beat the Giants. Like they're basically getting healthy. They look good, and then we lose to the Giants. Our next 5-game stretch, if there was a way I could show that on the screen, like they literally have like 13 losses total out of all 5 teams they're playing. Like they're playing 2 AFC North teams. They're playing the Seahawks. They're playing the Packers. Well, no, I think they play. I know we play the Browns. I don't know. I think we play the Browns. We play the Packers, the Seahawks. Dude, the Eagles would be that team to win some of those games somehow. After like not even showing up against the Giants.
All right. Well, let's look at the Eagles schedule right now over here. We can see schedule. Oh no, teams.
Yeah, look at the next 5 games.
There you go. Here's the Eagles right here. Schedule. So you guys got
Browns next.
right now in Seattle. That's a tough one. Then you have Green Bay.
You name somebody that has a harder schedule.
Yeah, there's Nobody. I'm looking at it right now.
The next 5 games.
Yeah. I mean, last game of the year is kind of easier. It's Washington, but even that was
But Doug Peterson, he said that he would possibly relinquish his play calling duties if it continues to go the way that it is. And because that's a big,
Possibly
in my opinion, that's one of the big reasons for our struggles, dude.
to go to
Of course.
And it's the play calling, honestly. We have talent left and right, and it's just
100%. We got Easy in here. I don't know if he's going to say anything. He's the creator of this site. Oh, he's the one putting that up there. Hell yeah, he's helping us out. What's your schedule on the thing?
that's good. All right.
You can see now.
All right, so let's talk about this then.
Eagles.
So
Browns.
so we got the Browns. The Browns are one of the most wishy-washy teams, but they've actually had a really good year this year. Baker actually is
Right. Well, the
Baker. Go ahead.
I was going to say they've lost 3 games. They've lost to Baltimore, they've lost to Pittsburgh, and then I can't remember the third game that they lost off the top of my head. But they've lost to good teams. You know, they haven't lost to shitty teams.
Yeah, and Baker is actually playing some good football.
He is,
and that's scary because the way the Eagles have been playing.
Right.
Now the Eagles are better against pocket quarterbacks. That's what we've shown to be. And when we play quarterbacks that can run, we let Daniel Jones run for 80 yards. So I don't know what it is, because you learn that from like day one back in like middle and high school. Like you learn how to defend the zone read and the read option. It's literally quarterback and pitch, or like quarterback and then running back. You tackle both of them. Like you don't guess. You don't leave any defenders on an island. That's just Duke can scramble. Oh, he's talking about Daniel Jones. Yeah, dude. I don't know how that. I don't know how we don't know how to defend a zone read. We can. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he came out of fucking nowhere, dude. Daniel Jones, like nobody knew
running ability.
No, he could run that fast till he did, or until he had that giant run or whatever. They said he ran faster than Lamar's ran all year or something like that.
Dude, he ran like 22 miles per hour.
It's fucking ridiculous. No wonder why he's
fucking unbelievable. But it's like, I get, like, we didn't even let Lamar run like that. We didn't even let Lamar run like that. How are you going to let Daniel Jones post a faster speed against your defense than Lamar Jackson? And not to mention, dude, like, I don't get it. Like when we played the Rams had a really weird game plan coming in. There was just straight play actions, and not one single receiver was ever guarded. They just literally, they ran their receivers lateral, and they got Jared Goff out of the pocket, and he looked like Joe Montana. I can't explain that anymore. Like, I can't explain what's wrong with our defense in those situations, because they've played lights out with the inside run game, and our secondary really has not been that bad, other than getting mossed by what's his face, Golden Tate, dude. That was nasty, and we had no business getting mossed by Golden Tate.
Right. I just put my own comment in here.
I was gonna say that's you.
I wish I would have made it somebody else. It's funny. It's all right. We're trying. I'm a little drunk right now. What are your basketball team? You got one? You got a basketball team? Sixers. How many? Yeah, Philly. That's right. Are you in Philly?
No, I'm actually in Orlando.
Orlando.
Okay. I have a lot of family that lives up in like Boyertown and Allentown, and a lot of diehard Eagles fans within the family. Or Philly fans, I should say. But I'm one of like the more inclined, like all around Philly sports.
Right. Okay. So
like,
give me your top 5 in order all time Philadelphia players, athletes, anybody. It could be anybody that played for Philly.
Athletes.
Top 5 in order. Let's go.
Like athletes or players in general?
Players in general, I guess. Or I mean, the players in general are athletes, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but athletic ability or just favorite player?
Right. I'd say your favorite players.
Better player. I gotta go. I mean, that's tough.
It is, isn't it?
That's a tough question. Like, I love AI. That was my.
Yeah, he'd be your number 1 then, I guess.
He has to be at least in the question.
Yeah, of course.
He was a ridiculous ankle breaker.
Right. Okay.
Like I've never. Now I didn't grow up through his era, but Randall Cunningham's definitely.
Randall Cunningham. Okay.
He's definitely up there. I can't leave my man T.O. out of the top 5.
Right.
T.O. is an absolute ridiculous animal at the receiver position. You got me thinking. Was he really?
I'm not sure. Oh, Tia was talking shit to Slay.
Really? Interesting. Like, when was this? Was it this week? Because I didn't see anything about that. And that's really... T.O. is a really good receiver, though. Like, he had a really bad attitude, but he also backed it up. And that was his thing. He always produced wherever he went. And he was definitely one of my favorite receivers in his time.
Right.
I got you. Yeah, but that man's posterized so many corners, and he's burnt so many corners. Like he kind of has like that pass.
Right.
It's like
Russ is a terrible host. I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best. He's fucking with me now. It's all right.
he's also is that your friend that runs it?
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess
All right,
he's.
he did.
Yeah. He knows that I like to troll about the Steelers a lot, so that's why he got me in here doing this shit, talking about Pittsburgh and stuff. He said he's trying to help me out. Yeah. Shit. The fuck is this? I'm spamming this this video to a whole bunch of people right now. I'm trying to get people to join and comment and say shit. He said I have my somewhere I'd hop on. He's the creator of this website thing that we're doing now. I tried to get.
You want to talk some Steelers though? A lot of people are trying to say that you guys had a lot of easy opponents this season.
Well, I've been trying to say this for a while. If you look at the Chiefs, for example, the Chiefs' opponents, they've won now without teams playing the Chiefs or the Steelers. The Chiefs' opponents have won 32 games, and the Steelers' opponents have won 33 games. So it's like they're kind of the same thing, you know. Like we've been playing the same opponents pretty much. I mean, now we're playing Jacksonville, and they're playing the Raiders. So we have an easier opponent than them. Plus, minus is actually like. What's that?
The Raiders will low key put up a fight against the Chiefs too. They've been playing really good football this year.
If the Chiefs can win and the Steelers can win, we're going to be up by like 2 games. That'd be amazing.
Well, I could tell you this: my pregame predictions, my preseason predictions. You know, you just throw your random I think. Or the website, the website that you can actually go through like one by one, and you can actually pick like each game, and then you predict each team's record, and then you could choose them through the playoffs and all that. I actually had the Steelers going 12-4 before the season even started.
Okay.
Everybody thought I was absolutely ridiculous for that prediction, and I had them winning the division over Baltimore. So everyone thought that I was crazy because they forgot what the Steelers were like with the healthy Ben Roethlisberger. A lot of people did. And a lot of people forgot how good the coaching is in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing you guys have had since you guys had Tomlin. Like he's really kept you guys like stout, which is a good thing. And 3, I knew other teams were going to be game planning against the Ravens quarterback run game, and they're going to force Lamar to pass a lot more, and it's showing. And I said I didn't say he was going to be bad, but I said that Lamar is going to take a step back. He's not going to be MVP Lamar.
Somebody told me to drink. He's a girl I was trying to hit up recently.
This man's sipping straight out the bottle. What you drinking?
I'm drinking some Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, Tennessee honey. It's
you sipping it straight too.
Yeah, I am. Why not? You know, I'm a diehard person. The only fear would be Ben if you believe that there were no worries. Yeah, Ben's gonna be Ben's a big thing. We're 500 without him. I'm not really sure what we'd be without him this year. But yeah, he's got to play every single game if we want to succeed. For sure. There's no question about that. If he's gone, I'm losing it.
I can tell you, I was so excited though to prove everyone wrong with that. I'm just saying, and I told people, I'm like, dude, I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm not. Like, I don't get why you think I'm so crazy for this prediction. Look at Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers with Tomlin in the past, and you guys have had the squad, just no quarterback to run that squad.
Yes, and
that was your big thing, Duck Hodges and all that.
Right.
All that BS you guys had to go through when Ben was back.
Well, what Ben does best is he doesn't make mistakes, and that's what people don't realize about quarterbacks. Is you need a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. You can have a quarterback like Lamar. He's fast as fuck. He can throw. He can do anything. He makes mistakes. Ben doesn't make mistakes. Ben
he'll make you pay.
Yeah, he will. If you leave people open, he'll fucking fight him every time.
And that's what killed the Eagles too. Like I don't know. And that's the thing with Ben Roethlisberger. As soon as he stepped out as soon as he broke the huddle and he saw the Eagles sitting in a Tampa 2 and putting Nate Gary on Chase Claypool, you knew damn well.
Oh yeah, he's gonna target that shit. 100.
He didn't have anything on his mind other than I'm just gonna lob this up to Chase Claypool, and Nate Gary has no chance. He can't guard to save his life, dude. Nate Gary is probably. I mean, I don't wish injuries upon anybody, but him not being in for the rest of the year right now,
right,
it is kind of a blessing in disguise because the Eagles were really struggling with him, and he was. I think there's at least 3 screenshots where that man is facing the other way and the ball is going past his head or like within range. Like you got to have some sort of awareness if you're playing in the pros to be able to know when the ball's coming your way. Like
right. I got my boy Dan in here. He's a huge Dolphins fan. What do you think about Dolphins? Do you think they're pretenders or contenders?
Good question.
Yeah, I think they're contenders. Honestly, if you look up,
they are.
Plus minus, they're 5. They're doing good things in Miami.
For real, dude. That was their best. That was the best move, though. Was Tua, dude. He's showing. He's showing them that, or he's showing everybody that he was the correct pick. It didn't matter coming out of his injury because he got slept on. He probably would have been the number 1 overall if he didn't have his injury.
Yeah, 100%.
To be honest. But I mean, Burrow's making some noise over there, and he'll be a good quarterback for them. They just have such a terrible squad overall,
right?
That actually, I wouldn't even say their offense is good. Their defense needs some work. I mean, you can't really name many playmakers on the Bengals defense, and that's the issue.
All right, Dan. Look what Dan said. This motherfucker right here. He's trying to talk shit. Oh, no, that's not talking shit. That is pretty dope. I think Ben actually won 15 in a row. I could be wrong. We won 15-1 that Ben's rookie year because he started. I think it was week 2 he started. or something like that. But yeah, Tua could win 4 in a row. Who's he playing, Dan? You know?
Who, the Dolphins?
Who are they playing?
I could tell you.
13. Deidre said Tua looking like a game manager. I haven't really watched any Dolphins game, to be honest. I've been paying attention to their stats and shit. The Broncos, okay.
That's
They're
a
playing-
winnable. That is a winnable game. Easily, they should soundly beat the Broncos the way they've been playing, and their quarterback issue, because I think Locke's still out, isn't he, or did he come back?
Oh, I think he's in the game. I think he's playing, honestly. Hold on, let's find out.
Well, the Broncos have been
Yeah, they've been awful.
they've been awful this year,
They've been playing like that.
and I've been very disappointed because I picked up Philip Lindsay in 2 of my leagues, expecting him to be like a flex player.
Right.
I didn't want him to be like an RB1 or an RB2. That's not him, especially with Melvin Gordon in the backfield. But like at best, I expected him to be like a pass catcher and that random like 80-yard touchdown run that he gets because he's fast as hell. Like that's what I was hoping to get out of him, and he's been an absolute bust between his injuries, and so they've been definitely struggling. Ooh. Phone's barking at me.
We get these next 3. I'm going to be 8 straight when Kansas City comes to Miami. Okay. He's trying. I hope they do beat KC, to be honest. I hope everybody beats KC. KC's got to go down. Go Steelers.
We get these. 1 second. That's my girl. She went in at 6 o'clock this morning. She's a respiratory therapist. It is 10:40 and she is still at work.
Who is?
My fiance.
Aw.
Well, she's covering.
When you guys get married, bro?
December of next year.
Oh, damn. I'll smoke to that and drink to that.
Oh yeah.
How long have you guys been together for?
2 years on the 16th.
Now the question is she an Eagles fan?
She's not that diehard of a sports fan. She kind of just follows.
But
I'm trying to shape her into.
Not a shaper. That's how you do it.
But it's kind of hard because when your girl doesn't know that much about sports, but she knows. She knows how to follow scores. And
right.
And when the Eagles lose every week, it's kind of hard to convince her that we're
right.
a reliable team. Because I wasn't there to show her the light in 2017. COVID shoddy. Because she's a respiratory therapist. She works with neonatal care. So most of the she works with babies. So she doesn't ever really see COVID.
Yeah, when it comes to women, I've always had a thing, man. If I ever get married, that woman is going to be either A, she's going to be a Steelers fan, or B, she's not going to like football at all. But I'm going to give her some Steelers jerseys, and she's going to wear those motherfuckers.
Oh, she has a Carson Wentz jersey I bought for her.
Beautiful. That's all that matters, and
Well, that's the thing. She's not that diehard of a sports fan, but she loves the principle of sports. She loves it brings people together. She loves that everyone has a good time, drinks, and enjoys their time. And yeah, she loves the culture of sports. She doesn't understand it as much. So copping her a Wentz jersey, throwing it on for game day.
Have a good night, Dan.
Later.
Somebody said Pistons traded Luke Kennard. He's a white boy. I don't care about him. Luke, he's a white boy. He's not any good.
If we talking basketball, I could tell you my wish list is Zach LaVine.
Oh wait, shit! We got something going on here. He's showing us the draft.
Draft 2020 Pistons. Oh, it's the trade.
Yeah. The trade. Yeah, he's in the background helping us out. He's with his kid, I guess. So I guess he's helping us out in the stream, doing things. Shout out to Daniel. Cookie policy. Is that on your screen too? It says cookie policy.
What's up?
I said,
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
All right, let's get some more questions in the chat. There's 4 viewers right now. Anybody got any questions to ask? Anything to say? Otherwise, we can talk about. I appreciate you being here, by the way, Greg. I couldn't find.
Like I said, I wasn't doing much.
Hells yeah, dude. Hells yeah. Yeah, because I went on my phone or whatever, and I was looking at like recent text messages, and it was like you telling me to play my fucking game in your Madden League. By the way, if anybody wants to join a Madden League, my man Greg here, he has a league. You can hit Easy Sports, and I will get the information. I'll let you know about it.
We're full right now, but
it's on Xbox One.
But you know, Russ will get kicked soon enough, and then we'll bring in a new guy.
Sooner or later, 'cause I haven't played a lot of games in that league.
No, we have more inactive people than you.
Oh, really? I'm not the number one concern.
Well, I cleared a few out. I got rid of the Niners because the Niners was not playing any of his games, and I think that was more of a rebellious factor because I thought maybe he was busy or something was up. And he goes, "I'm tired of not being able to have an opinion."
What?
And well, no, because you remember like the old Niners user. Every single time something came up, he'd hop up in the chat, he'd tag everybody, and start like a whole league wide issue.
Right.
He came in quite a few times doing that, and then he would start like a protest, and then that's when I put out the big announcement that I was like, I'll start kicking everybody if they start tagging everyone.
Well, I'm in a lot of Madden leagues, and I'll tell you, like honestly, yours is like probably like you had the most stuff in there for sure. Like you had the casino in there, you had fucking like your little bot thing, like your suspension warnings, and shit like that. It's cool.
That casino thing was annoying though. I left that back in Madden 20.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fun. It was fun.
It was fun, but it was pointless after a while, and it was just kind of like it got old. And I'm not doing any upgrades in the new one, so I didn't want any. Like that was literally the incentives for playing the casino was like upgrades and stuff like that. So
how do you make that? Are you like a good at whatever you call that when you make things?
Oh, like an editor type, like
there's a word for it. It's like when you make stuff online,
like a graphic designer.
Yeah, but there's coding. Good at coding. Are you good at coding?
I used to code. I used to code video games all the time growing up.
Right.
That was my shit. Yeah. You can kind of tell by the way I organize my stuff that I like running things. Right. Or I like knowing.
My boy Justin Palmer and Miss Greg.
Oh my God, I know who that is.
Hey, bro, you used to be in the leagues. You used to be in there. You used to be doing stuff.
What'd you picture me to look like?
Wow.
I think everybody that's still in our league knows what I look like because you were gone before people started posting pictures of everybody. Because I have like at least like 4 other people that I know in real life that were just posting.
Yeah. So, Justin, you want to join? We could add a third one. Hold on, let me invite you in here, man. We could have a 3-way. Not like that, but
that was it.
I don't get it like that. Sorry, I told Daniel, I said he's gonna have some whatever it's called. He's gonna have a suing or something going on. Where's Justin? All right, I'm sending it to Justin right now.
He said he's going to bed.
Oh, he's going to bed?
Yes, sir.
I just time. Oh, it's whatever. No worries, man. Have a good night, dude. Sleep well. Dream about the Steelers, my man. I know you're a Colts fan, but it's all right. He's a football fan. He's not a Colts fan. All right, let's oh shoot.
Drinking with Unkle Russ.
Oh, yeah.
What is this? All right. I'm getting inclined. I've never used StreamYard.
That's all right. You're good, man. This is like my second time doing it. This is like he put me in charge of it because he has to deal with his kid or something right now. Streaming for the Broncos. We got 5 viewers right now. Somebody ask some questions, boys.
So is the fan base or are the viewers predominantly Steelers fans?
For the there's a thing called what are you asking about? For this right here? No. This is a so
Sure.
I met Greg at it's called the Playmakers Lounge. You can thing on Facebook.
Right.
It's sports of all nature. I'm a big Steelers fan, so I put my shit in there. I'm not actually sure what what team Easy is. A team of I think like everybody because like he always got like fucking jerseys in the back. He's got all the teams in there. He still has to get a Jerome Bettis jersey for his jersey collection. I made a bet with him. I said if the Steelers beat the Ravens, he's got to get a Bettis jersey.
Fantasy sleepers. That's a topic.
Fantasy sleepers.
I ain't giving away all my top. I'm kidding. I can't. You guys aren't in my league.
You believe?
I'm in 3 leagues, actually.
All right, let's see.
I'm one of the deepest. I'm in like two of like the deepest leagues that I've ever seen. Like I'm in a like 14-man dynasty league. 30 players per roster.
I'm in 20 different leagues right now. It's
20 different leagues.
Yeah, I know it's a lot. I'm in a bunch of $5 leagues. I'm in a couple of $100 leagues, a couple of $50 leagues. It's like a mess. I don't know.
There's no way you're running 20 or you're
Wanna see it?
managing 20 different teams.
Here's my teams right here. I'll scroll down them for you. That's just sleeper, by the way. So I got sleeper leagues, I got ESPN leagues, and I got one Yahoo league. It's a big mess.
You're wild.
In a group chat with some people. We make a whole bunch of drafts and shit. It's fun, honestly. I mean, it's annoying because like I have to
Fantasy sleepers.
Right,
Tim Patrick, Broncos. He's been an absolute stud. He stepped up.
Is he a sleeper? I feel like he's more well known right now, though.
Now he's more well known.
Yeah, of course.
But this is just like a week or two.
Right.
But this man's been balling since week 3, dude.
Yeah.
Since week 3, I mean, he's average. I mean, he had 14, 23, 14, 7, and 12 and 10 in a PPR. He's only gotten under 10 fantasy points.
It's my boy Andrew Lovelace. He has Tim Patrick on his fantasy team, and he's always trying to talk shit to me.
He's in my dynasty league, man. But I haven't had to play him yet. But man, he's sitting right up on my bench because I know. Actually, I played him last week. I had to, and he got me 10 points. I mean, you can't argue with that.
What did he do last week? How many catches did you get? You know, let's look at that.
Statistically, my man had 4 catches for 61 yards.
That's all right. I mean, that's
for somebody that was not rostered at the beginning of the year. I know not one person drafted him, and I mean, maybe if somebody was clowning and they're a Broncos fan, but like if you're legitimately building a money team and fantasy football, you did not draft Tim Patrick. I don't want to hear from anybody.
All right, so Dee says that fantasy is normally on Wednesdays on this show, so we can talk fantasy. What about the free agents? Have you seen any free agents that you like this week? I like Carlos Hyde. That's about it, really. I think Carlos Hyde might do some stuff.
I don't know.
For a while, but last time he played, he had. What's that?
I'll tell you what. I don't know if he was available in every league because Sammy Watkins appeared on the waiver wires in my 14-man PPR league. And I have a lot of fantasy gurus like that sit back and like that was my pickup this week.
That's a great pickup. For a 14-man league, for sure, dude. You should be in
and it was a shame to drop LaVisca because I liked him early on in the year. But with their quarterback issues going on right now, he's not getting as many targets. and he doesn't. And now he's injured too, and that's not really helping his fantasy stock at all. But Sammy Watkins, if he's available in your waiver wire, pick him up immediately because Patrick Mahomes is obviously one of the most wide receiver friendly quarterbacks. David Moore is
If Lockett doesn't play, so.
David Moore is rostered already probably in most leagues, so I wouldn't call him a sleeper.
Okay, let's go find out.
I feel like that man gets involved every single week in some way, shape, or form.
He's
I'll pull
available in leagues. I'm looking at a couple of my leagues right now.
I mean,
League though.
I'm used to being in some pretty deep leagues. So David Moore definitely in all of my leagues has not been available most of the year. for sure. I can tell you waiver wire pickups.
My boy just texted me. He said, "Don't you dare say that Patrick is nice." It's funny because he used to brag to me about Tim Patrick and how great he is, and I said, "Dude, he's a bust. Shut up."
Was he a Broncos fan too?
No, he's a big Ravens fan, but he's in a fantasy league with me, so he likes to talk to smack.
So if we're talking fantasy in general, I'm gonna show you a trade that your boy is trying to make.
Okay.
And we're gonna discuss that. Too bad I can't project it on the screen. But that's who I'm trading for.
Right. Derrick
Henry and Jamison Crowder. And that's who I would be.
You'd be giving that, yeah. Hunt.
Yes, sir.
I feel like you're getting more.
No, he's getting more, but wait till I'm gonna show you my starting lineup. You tell me King Henry wouldn't benefit in that lineup right there.
Who's your running backs? Hunt, Sanders, and who's your flex? Hunt, Sanders, and I'd start him. Deontay Johnson, though, that's nice.
And then this is why I'm dropping so much in that trade.
Right.
Because I mean, half of those players I'm not even using. Michael Pittman. Okay.
Yeah, she was saying that was nice. Cause you mentioned Michael Pittman, or no? I think my friend mentioned Pittman. Yeah, he's a good player. He's on the Colts.
Michael Pittman. I'm going to pull him up right now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Losing all my credibility right now because I got a night kill. People are going to call me gay or whatever, but it's all right.
He already cleared waivers too. Why is he getting so many targets? Is my question.
Michael Pittman?
Yes.
I think he's like their number one option because like Eli's playing like shit. If we're being honest, he's playing like absolute dog shit right now.
Yeah, I have him in my dynasty. He was supposed to be one of my like wide receiver ones.
Yeah,
no, he would have been my wide receiver 2 behind Julio.
He's always been one of my favorite players. Eli, always.
Wow, that.
I won a fantasy league 1 year because of him, and I changed my name to Thank You Hilton because Ty.
That's funny. DZ, you're clutch because I think I'm gonna go pick him up. I did not know that man was balling under the waiver wire like that. I don't know much about him at all.
Wow. I was on the phone with this girl last night, and we didn't talk anything about football. I didn't really think she knew this much about it. For her. We can get her on the show right now. Do you want to be on the show, D?
All right, this is how deep my league is. Someone already picked up Pittman. And that's my dynasty, dude.
Dude, I love dynasty. I'm in a dynasty with taxis. You know what taxis are?
Taxi. Oh yeah, you could put rookies. Your taxi squad.
Yes. Yeah. You want to see my taxi squad?
I'm holding Braylon Edwards underneath because I feel like he can eventually pop out and be good down the road.
I'm in a 12-man dynasty league, and I have right now because I made a trade. I traded James Conner in return. I got J.K. Dobbins and I got Mark Andrews. So I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be a good trade or not. I mean, because James Conner's like right now he's playing really good, but dynasty wise, J.K. Dobbins might be good in the future. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Oh, I can
But
share. I can share screen.
you can
That's how
share.
you do it. All right.
We know. Yeah.
My girl just got to the MRI. My girl is running late tonight. All right, give me 1 second. I'll pull up my
Anyway,
yes.
I have a really good taxi squad. I think I have Jalen Rager. This is my taxi squad. I also have in my starters. I have well, not my starters, my bench, and I have CEH and I have Dobbins for rookies. But my taxi squad. This is my taxi squad right here. I have Benjamin. He's not any good. Antonio Gandy Golden. He's not good. But I have Perrine, Anthony McFarland, Michael Pittman Jr., KJ Hamler. I'm really high on KJ Hamler, by the way. I think he's a stud. And I
See,
have Rigor.
I didn't understand what taxi squad meant,
Yes.
or I would have loaded up on rookies, dude.
Right.
I did not know that until like a couple weeks ago because I was trying to make a move. So I moved Braylon Edwards down so I can make another move.
Yeah, you got to fill this up. You got to fill this up early, or else all the rookies go away. I think my friend Andrew loves this. He's my friend Drew. He's
Here we go.
You scan.
Here
You scan.
we go. I'm going to.
What up, Tyler? Bad? How's it going, bro? How's it going, dude? You want to be on the stream?
All right. Can you see that?
I can't see anything you're doing right now. We can just see.
Okay. Okay, I think you have to pop it up, right?
I see you now, Greg.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
all right, can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
All right, this right here is my sleeper dynasty. It's a 12-man PPR. This is my matchup coming in. That way I'm not holding my phone up. I can do this.
Yeah.
All right, but this is probably my best team out of all of them. I'm projected to put up 160 points on the week.
12-man league?
This is a 12-man league. This is my starting lineup.
You got 3 flexes, though. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 2 flexes.
Right.
And then I got Kelsey. So this, you come down here. I've worked really hard on my waiver wire pickups because I know how important that is. Like, he wasn't on my squad. He wasn't on my squad. He wasn't on my squad. I think the only 2 people on this entire bench lineup that were on my squad was Darrell Henderson and T.Y. And I think Keelan. I even picked up Des Bryant for shits and giggles.
Des Bryant? Yeah, I picked him up too. I picked up Antonio Brown and I picked up Des Bryant in one of my leagues. And Antonio Brown seems like he's paying off. Des Bryant, I dropped him the next week.
I'm not going to drop Des yet, just because I feel like if they start catching a little bit of chemistry, because they need to figure out something, because they lost an important game against the Patriots, because that division's tight. You can't be dropping games.
Yeah.
So, now the Patriots, that stud receiver, Myers, that's somebody you need to target if you haven't already. Projections are garbage. Well, I can
What do
tell
you think about Miles Sanders? Yeah.
Projection? Oh, I love Miles Sanders. Don't even get me. Now, I feel like he's not getting the ball as much as he should. He's averaging about 6 yards a carry and only getting like 15 carries. Dude, it's unbelievable how somebody averaging 6 yards a carry is only getting 15 carries a game. Like, he's hurdling defenders. He's making something out of nothing every play. I was really high on Miles Sanders coming into the season.
I'm high a lot.
I was saying I was really high on Miles Sanders coming in.
I drafted in almost every league I was in. I was drafting Miles Sanders, and I was drafting. Who else was I? There's some other guy that was. Fuck, I can't think of it right now. I need.
This
One second.
this has been my favorite. He's my RB1 of my dynasty. That man has been that man has been dropping points for me, man. I love it. He's dropping for fun. He got me like back-to-back 40-point weeks. Like that's unbelievable, man.
Well, it's funny. I'm in a league. I'm in a 10-man league, and it's with people that I work with, and one of the places I work with, and they're stupid, dude. They're so stupid because this is the people that it's a 10-man league, so it's a little less people. But I have Dalvin Cook, I have Michael Thomas, I have Darren Waller, I have Sanders. I drafted Sanders in the first round, I think, or no, I drafted him in the second round, and then I have Robinson, Allen Robinson. I have a whole bunch of people, dude. It's insane how many people there are in this league. I'm projected 140 this week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a normal league too. So I'm like 3-man flex. My friend Drew's gonna come in here. He wants to come in. I'm trying to add people here so we can. Or Tyler.
Let's see. That's what I was gonna show you.
Oh, leave my pizza alone, you little shit. My cat's trying to eat my pizza. Oh, bueno. Come here, Panther. Come on up.
Say what you want about projections, but like,
Yeah,
this was my team's performance on the left.
Wow. Yeah, 208.
And then the week before that.
Well, the thing about projections is if it's projections from Sleeper, I can attest to that. Sleeper projections are fucking awful. Yeah, there you go. I think sleeper projections are awful. I don't think they're that good. ESPN though, the people that make ESPN projections, they're smarter than me. They're smarter than anybody I know, to be honest. They know what they're doing. They know they're good projections. I don't agree when D said that projections are garbage always. Because nobody can project anything perfectly, but they do a good job. They're their best.
But dude, I'm just going like week to week. These are the points my team's been putting up. I barely won that week too.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how much this team has been balling for me. Then I got crushed the week before. And then the week before that I put up 154, right. 136. I think I scored the most out of everyone in that league. I'm 7-3 and I'm sitting pretty in third place on like, let's see, do they give me my win streak total? That's what I want to see. Where my win streak at? It don't tell you. It don't tell you your win streaks. Man, I need my credit for that. I started 0-3.
So now you're 7-3?
Correct.
You want to hear something crazy? Last year I was in a league. I won my first 7 games. I was 7-0. I lost my next 7 games.
Yeah. See, that's rough, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was bull. I mean, it was like it wasn't even like they were close losses. I wasn't like getting blown out or anything, but it was crazy.
So the NFL league that I showed you, the one with Carson Wentz, Kareem Hunt, Miles Sanders, Julio Jones, DK Metcalf, Jonnu Smith, Deontay Johnson.
Yeah,
you would expect that to be like not many losses, right?
Well, isn't Deontay Johnson hit or miss? Because he goes off some weeks, but I feel like he doesn't do a lot of other weeks.
He was injured.
Oh, he was injured?
They limited him. So like he started out with 10, and then he got 23 the second week. This is dating back to week 1. Week 3, he got injured, and he left the game. And he got 2 targets, and he ran the ball 1 time, and that was it. He got like 0.9, nothing. Then he went through the bye week. He came back healthy against the Eagles. He got hurt against the Eagles and didn't do much against us. So then he left. Then he sat the next game against the Browns. So like that's a good 4-week stretch that he was just battling injuries. Then he comes back against the Titans. And the thing I love about Deontay Johnson is he's a target machine. That
Yeah.
man,
Targets, doesn't he? Like 10 plus every week.
he's had five weeks with 10 plus targets.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Like, and that's when he's healthy. When he's healthy, that's their go-to. Like, besides Juju, it's Juju and Deontay Johnson, and then Claypool falls underneath. Deontay is targeted more than Claypool.
Well, yeah, I think red zone though. Claypool is the guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Claypool's definitely a start if you have him. Like, you should be starting him.
All three are starters. All three. Claypool,
All three of them.
Yeah, they're all good.
But, like, now that Deontay is healthy, he had back-to-back 10-plus target weeks, 14 or more fantasy points.
Wow.
He had 23 this past week. And now he's going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars team, which is not good.
Chase Claypool the same way. Last 3 weeks, 9 targets, 13 targets, 10 targets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Steelers receivers are where it's at, guys. I can tell you that.
Juju. Let's look at Juju here.
But
Juju.
the
last
lineup I told you, you wouldn't expect many losses.
That's Juju right there.
How's he looking?
Juju's
been, he's good.
Target wise, anyway, he's doing things.
Well, that's what you got to look for when you're looking in fantasy. You gotta see why people do good certain weeks. So, like, if you see someone that got 20 points one week, you need to be very careful to look at who was injured, why were they getting that many targets, who's their quarterback, who's their coach, what's their scheme look like. There's a lot of factors you got to play with it. And when I go to target people, I actually, because I'm an Eagles fan, it worked out. It worked out for me. But getting Miles Sanders, like, people didn't realize that man was going to be like our entire offense.
Right.
And that was my big reason for targeting him, was even if he gets 5 to 6 receptions, like, through the air, which he's actually been struggling in his receiving game, which surprises me because he's a receiving back. He's an elusive back that can also catch passes. 1 second.
You're fine.
But, like, even last week, he only got 15 carries. I mean, and that's low, which he should be getting more next week. But Doug, for some reason, doesn't like giving him the ball that much. But he still had 13 points last week.
Right.
Going into it. And I'm trying to dump Kareem Hunt off while I can, because if he does, I think he'll be great for the rest of the year, because he oddly benefits from having Nick Chubb in the backfield with him. Maybe it's because having a two-headed backfield tires out the defense more.
I just invited your entire league to our chat, by the way.
Let's see.
Or can you see it?
Yeah. No, I see it in the.
Beautiful. Hopefully, we get at least one person. You know, that's always what I ask for. Just one.
You'll definitely get somebody. Once you say Greg's in it, Duel's definitely gonna jump in.
Duel's gonna jump in? Oh shit! I hate Duel. I fucking hate that guy.
You hate him?
He always beats me, dude. Every league I ever make the playoffs, he's always there to beat me. Every single league, always. It's only him.
Didn't you beat him in the other league though last season?
It was a regular season game. It wasn't a playoffs game.
And you're the Chiefs, right?
Correct. Yes.
In that one, he was telling me about it.
Right.
Drinking with Unkle Russ.
Oh yeah,
Man.
Cool. He made it or whatever. It's cool. What's your? Yo, leave my pizza alone. Shit. My cat keeps eating pizza.
That goddamn cat.
We got 5.
Someone just jumped in.
Yeah. We went from 4 viewers to 5. Let's see if we can see him. It doesn't show who. It just says speaking. It's from YouTube. 1 from Twitch. We got a viewer from Twitch, and we got 4 from YouTube. now. Wow, we got 7 people here now. So people are coming in from your league. Everybody, if you want to post any questions in the comments or whatever, we can talk about anything you want.
Did you say 7 people now?
Yeah, we have 7 people in the stream now. So we went up by 3 since I posted that thing. So if anybody, honestly, just anything you want, we could put it on here. And yeah, ask anybody. You want to say that Greg's ridiculous and that he's a horrible commissioner, you can say that, and we can talk about it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, thank you, dude.
Of course, man.
We're fixing the sim too. 1 second.
Who's out here right now? What are your let's go power rankings. What's your top 5 power rankings right now in the NFL?
Right now?
Yeah, no, don't be biased because of me. Don't.
No.
What are your top 5 teams right now? Did you say? Break up with my girlfriend. How's she treating you, man? Is she treating you all right? She you don't like her in bed? Like, how's it going with that?
Do we even know who that is?
That's my boy Andrew. I know who he is. He's just
Okay. I thought you were just like going along with it. That's what I was like, I don't know who this is.
No, I know who it is.
Power rankings. I'd have to say I still think hands down when it comes to winning big games.
Right.
I still think I gotta put the Chiefs up at 1.
The Chiefs up at 1. Yeah.
I don't think they've shown me that they fell off. Like I still see them like being.
I mean, they're the champions. You gotta give it to them.
They're the team that beat still, so I'd have to throw them up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think now the Steelers pose a really, really high threat because you guys have a good defense. Right. You guys now have a quarterback. You have plenty of playmakers around Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So
you go.
I'd probably go Chiefs then Steelers. I'd probably throw the Steelers at number 2. Number 3. That's tough.
Isn't it? I'd go. Well, I was gonna go prior to last week. I would have went Ravens, to be honest with you, because the Ravens had only lost to the Steelers and the Chiefs prior to that. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. You go Seahawks, but Seahawks have been losing a lot of games lately. I don't really know who to pick for 3, to be honest.
I'll pick the next few, and then I'm probably I gotta hop off here in a little, just because.
Oh, man, you're cool.
Give me a minute. I'll pick up the rest.
You've been on this stream for 1 hour and 12 minutes, my boy.
I'm trying. Let me go look at some of these records right now.
We got my boy.
And play back some power ranking. Now I'm not high on the Ravens. I'm not as high on the Ravens as now. I don't think that they're bad, but I just don't think that they're what they were. I think a lot of teams figured out their scheme a little bit, and they don't have. They're more of like if they're not hitting the home runs, they're nothing.
Right.
Like I don't like, you know how Ben he'll quietly lead like an 80 or 90-yard drive off of a bunch of like little 5-yard passes, and he'll just facilitate the whole drive.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar is like,
well,
Lamar
they got the
is
run.
more like,
well, the thing that
they
I
have
think
a good
about
run game.
They have a crazy run. When the Steelers played them, they went the fuck off. But like they have, not only do they have Lamar, so you got to cover the outsides, you got to cover the insides because they got Dobbins. They have Gus Edwards, who's an amazing red zone threat, by the way, amazing.
Right.
And then they cut off. They still have Mark Ingram in there, and then their tight end. The only weakness the Ravens have is receivers because the receivers can't catch that well. But they got tight ends for days. They got a quarterback. They got a line. Line's a little bit hurt right now, though.
Yeah.
So
Stanley's out, isn't he? Or he was.
my friend's saying too many injuries. They have a lot of injuries.
Nice.
Right? Yeah, they have a lot of injuries right now. So that's one thing. If you watched the game last night, I think Sunday they had like they had a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries.
The Chiefs are silently 8-1. I thought they lost more games. I thought they lost a couple. Like who'd they lose to? They lost to the Raiders, right?
Lost to the Raiders, and they're playing the Raiders this week too. So we'll see how that works.
The Raiders are like their kryptonite for some reason.
We'll see. Well, I mean, they're division rivals, so nobody knows you better than the rival does. Nobody knows you better. So
that's a fact.
Right.
I'd have to say it goes Chiefs, Steelers at number 3. Wow, that's rough. There's a lot of teams that are pretty close.
For sure. Raiders silent.
Because the NFC West is really hard to judge too.
Oh yeah.
It's really hard to judge with them because once you thought the Seahawks were gonna start running away with it, all of a sudden it's a 3-way tie at 6-3.
Right.
And Kyler's playing out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Cardinals a lot. I don't know if they're number 3, but I like the Cardinals.
Right.
I'd have to say for number 3. For teams right now, I like the Packers. I do like the Packers a lot.
Yeah, Packers are good. What's the record right now? Are they 6-3? 7-2?
7-2. I like the Packers a lot, and I think Aaron Rodgers is kind of finding his mojo again. He's starting to look like how he did when he had Jordy Nelson. Because remember, he lost Jordy Nelson, then he kind of looked like an average quarterback for a minute.
All right. My boy Drew's in here. Drew, can you hear us?
I can. What's up?
How's it going, man?
What's good?
He's a Ravens fan. Drew, turn your camera on, man.
It is on. How do I hold on?
I'll figure it out for a second. No worries. We're all figuring this out together. He exited for a second, I think.
Still here?
Oh, no, he's
So
still there.
I would probably put Packers at 3.
You put Packers at 3. He left again. I think he's
And then now the NFC West, I think one of them, the best of the NFC West.
Right.
That's tough sledding because they know each other really well. I think when matched up with teams outside the division, I think the Seahawks are gonna probably be my 4th.
Right. What's your
because I think because there's such an internal division, like the Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals, no matter how good of a year they're having, like you said, division rivals know each other best. They battle really, really close games, like I think all year between those 3.
right.
But I would say the Seahawks are probably the best out of those 3. And I would probably drop Seahawks at 4. And at 5 right now probably would have been the Saints if they didn't lose Drew Brees.
Right.
But because they lost Drew Brees, God, it's tough. It's tough just throwing a power ranking out there.
Kentrell Baber says, how are you going to be active on here and not active in the league? What team is he?
I have no idea who that is. Kentrell?
Kentrell Babers. Well, to be honest, I'm in like 4 different leagues, and I love his league. I don't know. I got schoolwork and shit. I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best. I'm doing my thing here, you know? We're all doing our thing.
Wild card weekend in our league.
Wild card weekend.
I played Alliance. Let's go. Okay. All right, my number 5.
Who's your 4 again?
Tough. My 4 was Seahawks. I have the Chiefs, Steelers, Packers, Seahawks.
Seahawks at 4. Okay.
I like the Seahawks against other teams. Adrian. That's the Cardinals. if
Oh,
you're
he's
wondering.
okay.
That's the Cardinals.
So he's the cheeser, right? I'm just
He's
kidding.
a
He's the
This-
cheeser.
that man reads manuals on Madden for fun.
Oh, does he? Wow.
I feel like he does.
He probably does, dude.
He said, "Wow."
Oh god. Oh,
Number 5, though. I think I'm gonna go outside of the NFC West, and I'll probably say my number 5. I guess you could throw the Ravens under there at 5 because they still are a team to beat. But there's so many teams between 3 and 5. I can interchange so many teams. My clear 1 and 2 for sure is the Chiefs and Steelers right now. Those are the 2 that I would say are the teams to beat.
Yeah, I think everybody has those two teams as their 1 and 2. I mean, I'm not really sure if anybody has it different. I mean, maybe in the next couple weeks it'll change, but
That's how it should be, in my opinion. You can
Yeah.
interchange those, I guess you can say, because the Steelers are undefeated. You could throw them up there, but the Chiefs, I just think, haven't shown me that they have dropped down at all,
right.
for sure.
Trying to get more people in this stream. I'm adding or
Are you gonna beat him?
are you gonna beat him? Oh shit.
Yeah. Look,
The game just stopped matching me with Mello LMAO. I'm playing him once.
you
Who's
know
Mello?
the Jay Smooth guy.
Yes. Yeah, he's a good player.
No, but every time he plays Adrian has been beating him.
I'm Russ. I'm Russ. He's Greg.
Our names aren't underneath us. It asked me for my display name, so.
I'm Unkle Russ on this stream. Easy made me Unkle Russ for this. Which one is Russ? D, shut up.
Do you know D?
Sorta. I hit her up. I was trying to flirt with her, and then she was being annoying to me. Because she was like, I told her because she showed me a picture of her making a shot or whatever. It looked like it was a mid-range shot, right, on a basketball court. And I said, oh, I can make 7 of those in a row, right? And then this motherfucker decided to say on Playmakers Lounge, which is a site that we're all members in, that I said I can make 7 threes in a row. I was talking about mid-range shots first off. So she's like, you got like 24 hours to make 7 threes in a row or something. And I'm like, yo, delete that shit. I don't want to go outside and waste like 3 hours trying to make. I mean, I could do it, but it'll take a while. I don't know.
You play basketball. You got that white boy stroke.
I used to a while ago. Yeah, I had the white boy stroke. That's the only reason I made my team senior year was because I was white and I was slow and I couldn't do anything else but shoot. So I was.
That was me in basketball. I was I was the hustler that played aggressive and can shoot.
I look 30. Thanks, man. I'm 26. I'm close to 30. 4 years away. Trying. We'll get there eventually, man. Maybe when Greg is 26. How old are you, Greg?
25 or 24.
You're 24.
You got me saying I'm 25, Adrian. But deuces, I'm hopping off.
All right, brother, man. Have a good one. I'm trying to get my other friend Drew. If anybody in the YouTube chat wants to join here, we got 8 viewers here. So if anybody wants to join, we can have you in here. I can actually post this here. I'm gonna post this here, guys. I posted a link in the YouTube section. So if you want to join, I'll see you and I'll add you in. Just no nudity, no vulgarness, no anything, and we can have that happen. I'm really looking for someone to join because I'm not alone, or so I'm not alone. And we can talk sports or anything you want. Otherwise, I'll have to sign out soon. Let me get my boy Drew. I'm gonna call him, see if he wants to join. Oh, he's not answering. It's all right. We'll talk. Anybody got any questions right now? Anything at all? How's it going, Drew?
Hey man, what's up? How you doing?
I like your hair. Did you dye that? It was purple the other day.
I dyed it. Yeah, I gotta get a haircut though.
Yeah, for sure.
Women love the tug on this though.
They love the tug, huh?
Love the tug.
How's your day been, man? Do you got any arguments about what we've been saying lately, or?
Great. I just wanted to say something real quick, since clearly, no disrespect to you or Greg, but coming from two Pennsylvanians, an Eagles fan and a Steelers fan,
Right.
you guys aren't very well versed on the Ravens.
Okay.
So let's start off with the fact that we're missing 11 All-Pro, Pro Bowl players, starters.
11 of them.
We are missing Calais Campbell. Do I even need to get into who that is?
We know who Calais Campbell is, yes.
Okay, Brandon Williams, Big Baby Williams. As a Steeler fan, you know who Big Baby Williams is, right?
We know who Big Baby Williams is, yes.
That is 750 pounds of pure muscle in the middle of our defensive line. And
Okay.
why Damian Harris was able to run all over the Ravens.
Right.
We had a defensive line full of backups. Derek Wolfe missed almost 3 total quarters in that game on Sunday.
Right.
That's another. Yeah, we know who Derek Wolfe is, right? He played the last handful of years on the Denver Broncos. Big white guy on the defensive line, all tatted up. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Left tackle, all pro, arguably the best left tackle in the league. Ronnie Stanley is out for the season with a nasty, nasty injury.
Right. How much money did he make when he was playing? Or when he made a contract? Didn't he just sign?
They signed him to an extension, which was a total of around $100 million. I forget the exact numbers off the top of my head, but it was around $100 million. It was literally 8-9 days prior to him suffering that injury.
Right.
In hindsight, I know you can't predict an injury, but in hindsight, I'm sure the Ravens, Ozzie Newsome, Eric DeCosta, I'm sure that they would have wished they would have waited another 8-9 days to give him that money, because obviously with an injury such as Dak Prescott, you can look at Dallas, for example. Dak Prescott over the offseason had the opportunity to become the highest paid quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Yes.
That was prior to Patrick Mahomes getting his contract.
I'm sorry, I can't get over your hair. You keep going now.
It's just my hair, man. We've been friends for years.
It's your regular hair.
All right. So anyway, back on topic here. Dak Prescott had the chance to become the highest paid quarterback in NFL history prior to Patrick Mahomes' contract.
Correct.
And he turned that down. He played a game that he lost. He suffered that lower leg, that gruesome injury. The bone popped out of the skin.
Yes.
Probably not even going to be ready for the start of next season.
I want to throw my pizza away talking about that.
Well, anyway, he played his game, and Jerry Jones, they played their game. They did not sign him to that because he turned it down. And in reality, when it's all said and done, the Cowboys organization is going to come out on top in terms of the financials. The Ravens on the other end are literally on the other end, the flip side of that. They gave him all that money. It was well earned. You can't predict an injury. But, man, if they would have waited 2 more weeks, they would have saved themselves a lot of money. Anyway, we have our starting right guard. Everybody knows who Marshall Yanda is. He retired in the offseason, one of the best to ever do it. And we replaced him with a rookie, Tyree Phillips. I'm sure you're not probably too well versed on him, but he also is out. We have a center, Matt Skura, who first off is recovering from last year. He had major knee surgery. He missed the second half of last season. And he already admitted the opening day of this year that he was not at 100%, and he is still not at 100%. And that's his knee. His left hand, or his right hand, his right hand, the hand that he uses to snap the football, has a cut on it about that long. Has a nasty cut on it that's also affecting his snapping abilities. So even then, that's an example of a player that the Ravens have that is playing. So technically, that doesn't fall under the injury designation because he's still playing, but he might as well fall under that because he shouldn't be playing. He's hurting the team. We have Mark Ingram, who just came back from an injury. He missed a few weeks with an injury. He may not be the most talented back on our roster. J.K. Dobbins, personally, I think J.K. Dobbins is the most talented back. Gus Edwards is really good himself. He averages 7.3 yards per carry. He does qualify he has enough carries to qualify for that 7.3, which leads the league. Believe it or not, nobody would. If I asked you who number one in the league was for who's leading in yards per carry, there's no way in hell anybody would put Gus Edwards even in their top 20, and he's
Right.
number one. But back to injuries, Anthony Everett. Remember Earl Thomas, by the way, not an injury, but the Ravens organization chose to get rid of him to start the season. And then does he really have 7.3?
Full threat, by the way. Keep going.
He did have 7.3 prior to the Patriots game this past week. I'm not sure what the updated numbers would be. It might be up, might be down. I'm not sure, but it's not going to go up or down all that much. But it was that prior to the Patriots game on Sunday night.
Right.
Gus Edwards is a very good back. The Ravens just have this thing set into their minds, engraved into their heads, where they have to give each and every one of their backs about 10, 11 carries a game. They refuse to go to the back who's the hottest. They refuse. This is a Ravens fan.
Yeah,
And
he's my boy.
turn that shit off.
I know. My phone just went off. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh man, if we're talking injuries, God, LJ Fort, and you guys, hey, LJ Fort,
Steeler, yeah, I know.
a former Steeler and a former Eagle. He bounced around the league to a few teams. He finally found a forever home in Baltimore. We signed him to a contract extension because he's playing the best ball that he's ever played in Baltimore.
Yes.
And PFF actually had him rated. It was, well, let's see, we're going into, what is this, week 11?
Pro Football Focus, right? To people that don't.
Football Focus, yeah. After week seven, I know it's been a few weeks, but he's also been out the past couple weeks with a finger injury. Which
Yes.
he actually suffered the finger injury during our bye week.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how that happened. They never said how. But LJ, after week 7, Pro Football Focus actually had LJ Fort as the number 1 rated linebacker in the NFL.
Wow.
He definitely earned a contract.
I don't agree with that. I mean, when he played with the Steelers, I can tell you that he didn't tackle very well. He missed a lot of tackles.
Yep. Well, just one of those.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Hey, I'm live streaming. I gotta go. Can you watch my live stream?
Hello?
Do you want to watch my live stream?
Yeah.
I'll send you the link, bro. You keep interrupting it. Let me send it to you. That was Kevin. You know Kevin.
Yeah. Well, I could keep going on and on about injuries, but it's just going to be a while.
Right. Why do you think? Talk to me about J.K. Dobbins. Why do you think that he's the best running back in the Ravens? That's what you said.
Well, number one, look at the age. He's the youngest by far. If you're comparing it to Mark Ingram, is the heart and soul of the team. Everybody knows Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
And with Alvin Kamara, who is my number 1 fantasy back, and he's going to beat you next week, by the way, when you and I square up again.
Okay.
He's going to put up another 40 points.
I want everybody to know that I beat him in the last time we played fantasy together.
You did. However, I am ahead of you in the rankings.
He is ahead of me in the rank. We're both in the playoffs, though, so look out. We're gonna have a good showdown, me and Drew.
But yeah. So Mark Ingram is the heart and soul of the team. You know, he brings the juice.
Yes.
Big trust. But he's, this is his last year in Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins was drafted. Dobbins is a beast.
Yeah, my sister right there. She's my sister, Heather. I love you.
He arguably could have been the first back off the board. I believe he was the third back off the board, actually.
Right.
Yeah, he was the third. I was going to say second. He was definitely the third back.
I thought he was second, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure it's the third.
Who was second then? Do you remember?
I can take a look real quick. Hold on. Give me a second. No, actually, no, I'm going to stand by it. He was the third back off the board. If you want to dispute that, you can look it up.
Right.
I'm 99% sure that he was the third back. But the last thing I want to say about the injuries, by the way, Nick Boyle, number 1 rated blocking tight end in the NFL for the Ravens. He's not Mark Andrews. He's not going out there and, putting up those big 20-plus yard receptions, getting those fancy touchdowns, getting those fantasy points. But in regard to what the Ravens do to be successful and what they need to do, I can't see that.
These are the running backs drafted were Edwards-Helaire, then DeAndre Swift, then Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, he was.
Then it was Cam Akers, and then it was J.K. Dobbins, so he was 5th actually.
Wow, I didn't realize it.
I thought he was 2nd. I would have swore. But people said that he was the best running back drafted, though. A lot of people did anyway.
I knew Hilaire and Swift went before him. I did not know Akers went before him.
I love you too, Heather.
But I want to say real quick, the Ravens have one tight end on their active roster right now. Last year, we ran 3 tight end sets. 3 tight end sets. We had 4 tight ends at times on the roster. We ran 3 tight end sets with Nick Boyle, Hayden Hurst, and Mark Andrews. That's how the Ravens were successful last year.
Right.
Running that package. They're down to 1. They can't do what they were they can't even do what they did last year to be successful. They're down to 1. They just signed Luke Wilson, former Seahawk, crazy hair like me. Luke Wilson was just signed to the Ravens practice squad.
You grew that hair pretty fast, man. It only took you like a month and a half.
Yeah. I have a lot of things that grow pretty fast, but
really,
that's neither here nor there. Anything fantasy related you wanted to get into?
By the way, my sister's a Ravens fan too. By the way,
I could tell. That's a good choice. Good choice, Heather. I'm Andrew. By the way, we've never met, but that's a good choice.
What did you say before we said that?
I was just talking about how the Ravens just lost Nick Boyle to a fractured leg or ankle. Actually, they never really specified. They did say it was an ankle in the injury report.
Right.
They never really got into details of it, actually.
Right. Heather says she misses Heap. We need more tight ends. Oh, you guys have Andrews, and didn't you sign somebody recently or no? I thought the Ravens.
Luke Wilson to the practice.
Yeah, Wilson. Yeah. He's a former Seahawk, I think.
Yeah, he was the Seahawks
Big white guy.
The Seahawks let him go just maybe 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Less than a week ago.
Love the show, guys. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate you. You want to come on the show, man? We could go 3 ways here. Heather, we could get you on here too if you want.
Russell. You can volunteer for any type of 3-way you're doing, but I'm not. You're not going to drag me into this, all right?
You'll be dragged into it. Sorry. I mean, we're talking to my sister, so that'd be a little weird. So
I thought you were talking to Tyler, and I'm just not rolling that way, all right?
All right. Yeah. What do you think the top 5? We already talked about the top 5 teams in the NFL. Who do you think the top 5 quarterbacks are in the NFL? If you were to rank them all.
Well, I mean, the number 1 stays the same with the top team and the top quarterback is Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
And also for the top team, you and I discussed this the other day, and you put the Steelers at number 1 instead of the Chiefs. Now, I understand why. I understand the reasoning. But the Chiefs are the defending Super Bowl champions.
Right.
They've lost 1 game. You brought this up to me the other day that they've lost a game and the Steelers haven't.
Yes.
The one team they lost to was the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Their division rival, yes.
I almost slipped up and said Oakland. I got to get used to that. The Las Vegas Raiders beat them. That's a divisional game. As you know, and as every football fan knows, any divisional game can swing anyway. I mean, even I know Tom Brady in his prime dominated the Jets and dominated the Dolphins and the Bills and all that, but even he slipped up against each and every one of those teams here and there.
Did you know that Tom Brady never got swept by a division opponent except for the Saints?
I did not know that. You said didn't get shut out by a division opponent?
He's never been swept by a division opponent until the Saints.
Okay.
Swept, yeah. That's crazy. That's a crazy stat. I didn't know that. But I mean, he's had a bunch of easy opponents in his division for.
I know that there was a string of 3 years, I believe, where it was about 3 years in a row, or it was at least 2 years in a row, and at the very least 3 out of 4 years of his last 4 years with the Patriots, where he lost to the Dolphins in Miami.
Right.
Each time they traveled to Miami, he seemed to come out with an L those last few seasons.
Right.
But Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they go hand in hand at number 1, with no matter which power ranking you're looking at. And man, the number 2 quarterback, that's easy for me. Russell Wilson. I don't even have to think about anybody else in the league. I didn't have to think about it. Actually, no quarterback popped into my mind except for Russell Wilson. I could name every one, but that's the first one that came to mind. I don't even need you to give me any other quarterback. He's number 2. I don't.
Okay.
What's that?
So who you got number 3 then?
I'd have to think about it. Let's see. Let's go over some quarterbacks here. Aaron Rodgers. We got Aaron Rodgers. Don't come at me with Big Ben. He's a great quarterback.
I'm going to mention Big Ben. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback right now. Of course not. He does his job and he doesn't make mistakes, and that's why I love him.
Now, are we talking about? Are we talking about right now? Are we talking about just
right now? Yes, right now.
There's a big difference. Are we talking about just this season, or are we talking about for the future?
So, like right now, if you could have any quarterback playing for your team right now in your team, it would be like top 5.
Can you hear me all right?
You're making a little bit of static, a lot of static.
I don't think you still hear me.
Ben is old, yes. So Ben is we've lost 2 viewers since we started making this. You okay, man? All right, Drew has gone for a second. He's probably coming back. Anybody ask questions if you want for now. This is Speakeasy Sports. I'm taking over for tonight. Our man Easy. He's with his son right now, so I took over his live stream for a temporary time. My name's Russ. You have any questions? Let me know. He's coming back though, of course. I mean, I'd imagine. I know Drew very well. If anybody has any questions, we can ask about that. Why don't we talk about some topics that I can think of off the top of my head? We talked about quarterbacks. All right, so let's talk about quarterbacks. My top 5 quarterbacks. I would go with number 1, Mahomes. You got to go Mahomes. You can't not go Mahomes. 2 would be Wilson. I know he's been playing like shit recently, but I think you have to pick him because he's been playing phenomenal. He makes throws you wouldn't even question. 3, I'm going to surprise a lot of people, and I'm going to go with Kyler Murray because he's doing everything Jackson was doing last year and then some. He's throwing left and right. I mean, Jackson's playing a lot too. He played really well last year too. Yes, my sister is a Ravens fan, so I'm adopted actually. My sister's from. I was born in West Virginia. My sister, I think she was born in Virginia, maybe. I'm not really sure where she was born. If she's still in the chat, she can tell you. But my dad adopted me, and he's a big Steelers fan, so that's where I got that from. Yeah, she does. She has a tattoo on her arm, I think it is. A Raven tattoo. It's really nice. No, and your leg too, I thought you did, didn't you? But that was fun. Shrimp salad said my beard is getting fat. Yeah, I do. I have to cut my beard. Every time I say I'm going to cut my beard, I always get one person that tells me not to cut it. So I think I'm going to have to cut it eventually. The problem with my beard is when I cut it, I always try to trim it and make it like smaller, but I always end up messing up and I have to cut the whole thing off. So I'm trying to just keep it as I go and then see what happens. Dye it black. Would I have to dye my whole hair black or just my beard? I feel like that would be that'd be a thing and a half to do. I'm gonna call Drew right now. We're gonna do that. Hey man, you're on speaker and we're still on the stream right now, so don't say anything crazy. Are you coming back?
Oh, I'm on speaker and I'm on the stream. All
You're
right,
on the
good.
stream right now. How's it going? Everybody say hi. I'm not gonna say your full name, but
Good thing you said that because there's a solid 70-80% chance that I would have said something inappropriate.
that's fine, Dad. Are you coming back on the stream, bro? You're making some staticky noise. We got 7 viewers right now, so we need you back here. Hopefully they stay in.
I'm gonna need about 5 minutes. Brittany just got here, so just give me like 5 minutes, maybe 3.
All right. Drew's coming back in 5 minutes, maybe 3. All right. See you, man. All right. Just the beard. Just the beard. Just cut the beard. Or just that would be hard. I don't know if people would like that. Maybe they would. So I'm back to quarterbacks. I said it was Mahomes, Wilson, and then Kyler. Number 4, I don't really know what to do after that. Let's say 5 minutes for a solid jerk. Odds of Steelers going undefeated, Evan said. Undefeated, you mean through the playoffs or through like 16 games? Through 16 games, I'm gonna say 7% chance. The Steelers, they always do low things. Hey man, you dyed your hair.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Your hair that fast, man. That was crazy. How'd you do?
Let me just put this real quick. Let me answer that question. Odds of Steelers going undefeated, 1%.
1%.
There's been one team to go 16-0. I'm not talking about the Dolphins when they played a shorter season. There's been one team to go 16-0. The odds of that happening, anybody out there that's seen more than one NFL game knows that the odds of that happening is about 1%, if that.
Right.
If that. They may be a great team this year. Big Ben's doing what he needs to do for them to win. The defense is playing great. TJ Watt to it. They're all playing great. And they haven't lost a game yet, but the odds of them going undefeated are 1%.
6, 7. All right. So, say if the Steelers have a 60% chance of winning each game, which is kind of like what they do have. I mean, they might be a little higher than that, 60%, because they're playing the Ravens. They're probably going to be expected to tie that game. That's probably going to be a 50% chance. Same as Colts. I think they're playing. But if it's just saying 0.27% chance. That's if you combine. So I'm a big math nerd. So if you multiply 0.6 times 0.6 times 0.6, if you keep doing that 7 times, which is how many games are left, 7 times. That's how you come up with that. And in case anybody would know,
That's just too much. My answer is much simpler. 1%.
yeah, 1%. I mean, I'll go with 2.7. That's my answer. So there's that. Somebody said their first loss will be to the Bengals. When do we play the Bengals? Because we play. So you're basically, by saying that, you're saying that we're going to beat the Bengals. I mean, we're going to beat the Jags and the Ravens.
It's a divisional game. Anything can happen.
Only hard teams left to beat are the Ravens. I think the Colts are a hard team to beat as well.
Oh, the Colts are. Yeah, you and I both went to Indianapolis and saw the Ravens beat them.
They're a hard team to beat. They had you guys in the first half, but you guys just pulled out in the second.
Lamar Jackson was 13 of 13, 100% completion percentage in the second half of that game.
Oh, good. You have purple hair. I'm not listening to you.
That's fine. You can mute it then.
My sister said, I think the odds are good, but it's my birthday on Thanksgiving weekend, so I'm hoping for a Ravens win. I'm well aware of your birthday. But yeah, we're gonna root for the Steelers on Thanksgiving though. You should come back to Maryland for your birthday. Or invite me to Texas, one of the two. My sister lives in Texas right now.
Hey, I'll be in Cleveland in a couple weeks and then Indianapolis again.
I might go to Tampa Bay for a Bucs game soon.
I love going to Cleveland, man. Those fans, on an unrelated note, those fans up there, I've been there 3 times. Let me tell you, there was one game that I went to, it was probably 9 years ago. Probably about 9 years ago. I went there in the middle of December with my father. We sat down low in the end zone, right next to the dog pound, but not in the dog pound, right next to it.
Right.
And it was snowing. It was cold as hell. It was probably like, if I had to guess, 20 degrees, give or take a few degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And it was snowing heavy. There was a lot of snow on the ground already. And they're doing the national anthem. You know, everybody's supposed to take their hat off. But when it's 20 degrees and it's in the middle of a snowstorm, let's be real. 95% of the people are keeping the shit on. People aren't just wearing a hat like they are in the middle of summer. You know, I probably had 3 hoods up over my head and then a beanie. You know what I mean? And that's everybody in the stadium. We had people in the middle, like the club level, throwing snowballs at my father and I because we didn't take our hats off during the national anthem. You know what's ironic is the people that were throwing snowballs had hats on. They were throwing snowballs at us while wearing hats, yelling at us to take our hats off.
That's crazy.
Gotta love Cleveland fans.
I have a question for you because you were bringing about cold weather and stuff. Honestly, I think the best weather for football is like in the snow, like cold as shit. Because like even as a fan, because like if you're a fan and if you're at one of these games, I've been to a couple of them when it's like super cold. You're hyped up, you're energetic, your excitement keeps you warm. For me anyway. I don't know about you. Is that true for you? Your excitement. I love big cold, big snow days. You see all the snow and stuff. I love those games. Do you agree with that or what?
In a way, yes, because the air smells different, and I can close my eyes sitting inside of a game, and the air smells different. I can smell playoffs. But
right, okay.
But you know, there are extremes to it. Sometimes it's too much. It was 3 years ago. I went to the final game of the season against the Bengals at home in Baltimore, and that was a wind chill of -27. It was the coldest game in Ravens history. That wasn't any fun. There was nothing fun about that.
Yeah, well, when I say cold, I mean like 30 degrees, maybe 20 at lowest. Nothing lower than that, though. That would suck.
Yeah, I couldn't feel anything from the time the ball was kicked off.
The balls are too cold to catch. Anything can happen during those games. That's true. There was a Steelers-Bengals game. I think it finished like 3-0. No, I think it might have been the Browns game. That was one of my favorite games to watch. I didn't go to that game, but it was a real fun game to watch on TV.
Do you have the games for this week pulled up over there?
We could get them if Easy wants to put them up on here. I don't really know how to do that.
I mean, I can just look them up real quick.
We can look them up, but I mean, we can get them on the screen too. We're on to 7 viewers right now. Oh, by the way, if you want to send our link to people so they can watch your stream while we're talking.
I'm going to be honest, Russell.
What?
The majority of people that I interact with are just so happen to be females and they don't enjoy sports.
No worries, bro.
That's not a subtle flex. That's the truth, and you know it.
No worries, dude.
Let's see. Who do the Steelers play this week?
The Steelers play the Jaguars.
Oh,
One game. The Steelers have the big stat of the week, by the way, for that game. The Steelers have the most sacks in the league. They've had it for the last 4 years, but with the most sacks in the league, Jacksonville Jaguars, they have the least sacks. They have 9. I think the Steelers are like 26 or something. They have less sacks than the Jets.
Funny that the Ravens poached two of the members from Saxonville.
Yeah, no, Saxonville is no more. They're dead last in sacks.
However, one of those, Calais Campbell, was out last week. Is probably out this week and could be out for a third.
Yes.
Okay. I got the games up in front of me. I don't know if you're able to pull them up on here.
Not right now. We can I share screens or no? I wanted to let everybody know there's 7 viewers here right now. This is my first stream that I'm doing by myself. G-Eazy is going to give me a stream, I think, every week to do. I'm going to learn how to do this and put stuff on the screen for everybody to see when I present. I apologize, but let's go by each game. Who do you got first on there?
You want me to start? You want me to just go down the list?
Yeah, just go down the list, one at a time.
Let's start with the divisional game that we were already talking about a little bit earlier. Kansas City and Las Vegas. In
Right.
Las Vegas this time, however, home field advantage, there is no such thing this year.
I think it's going to be a blowout for the Chiefs, to be honest with you. I want the Chiefs to lose that game, but they already lost one game to the Raiders. I think they're pissed off. I think they're going to come out. I think Mahomes is going to start playing hot. He's going to have one of his normal 5 touchdown games, maybe 4. I think they're going to win. It's not going to be close. What about you?
I agree. The Chiefs win. It would be surprising to see Las Vegas beat them in
Right.
both games.
Correct.
But the biggest thing that I'm going off of is earlier today, Adam Schefter reported that the whole entire Las Vegas starting defense was put on the COVID list. The whole defense. If you didn't know, now you know. The whole defense.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They were all deemed. What's that?
I guess they're not going to be able to play now, or
No. They will, but they won't know for each individual player until Sunday, until the morning of the game. Each player was deemed a high contact, a close contact, whatever they call that. But yeah, the whole defense won't be able to practice this week. Oh, it's not like it's a big deal though. I mean, they only have to prepare to face Patrick Mahomes.
correct.
But yeah, Kansas City should win that easy.
Right.
Fun.
By the way, with Russ, I haven't drank a lot so far. I've drank like that much of the bottle though, so not that enough.
I wish
Who's
I had.
actually-
I wish
What's
I
that?
had something here that I could join you with, but
Yeah.
not much of a drinker myself. But I wish I had something I could join with.
Me neither. Well, the person who owns this podcast, Easy, we call him Easy because he doesn't want to put his name, but he was drinking a lot earlier, so I started drinking with him. So he made this for me.
Hmm.
All right, what's game 2?
Game 2. Let's see. Green Bay and Indianapolis.
I'm gonna go Indianapolis for this one, and hear me out why.
It is in Indianapolis.
Yeah, they're the home team for one. I think they're a little pissed off. They lost the game to Baltimore recently, your team. Also, I think that the AFC is better than the NFC. I keep saying this. A lot of people disagree with me, but I don't know, man. I think the third best team on the AFC, which is the Ravens, by the way, I still think that can beat the best team in the NFC, and I think that the Colts are going to help show how the AFC is better than the NFC. What do you think? Go ahead.
I have to break down a lot of key pieces to each game. That's what I like to do. Earlier today, Devontae Adams.
I think the lines are going to match up in the Colts' favor too, with offensive and defensive line. I think the Colts got to beat. But your turn. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm a little drunk.
I'm a little high on summertime. All right. Anyway, the Green Bay Devontae Adams earlier today actually tweeted. You know, I keep up to date. I get all my information from Twitter. It breaks there before anything else.
Uh-huh.
He tweeted from his own personal account that he actually suffered an injury this past week that nobody else reported on, an ankle injury, and that he said that I don't remember the exact words, but it was something very similar to he said that he will not play this week unless he's at 100%, which is something he said before in the past. And as a Devontae Adams fantasy owner, I know that in the past when he's made a comment like that on Twitter, he seems to be, he seems to have Twitter fingers. And the last time he said something like that, he didn't play. That's something to keep an eye on. That's a big thing to keep an eye on. If Devontae Adams doesn't play, I probably would pick Indianapolis. But if he plays, I think Green Bay wins. Indianapolis just came off of they did lose to the Ravens, but that was 2 weeks ago. That's not even in their rear view. Their rear view is the Titans. They're coming off of a big beatdown, which you and I saw that game. They're coming off of that was a very close game, about halfway through the third to the end of the third quarter.
Right.
The Colts, they had a drive where they went for it on 4th and 1 4 times. 4 times. And then they were stopped. You remember they were stopped 4th and goal at the 1. And then the Titans punted. They stopped the Titans, and then Titans punted it back, but shanked a 17-yard punt. And then the Colts just took over from there.
Right. Who's the favorite for that game?
What's that?
Who's the favorite for that game? It's probably
I'm not sure. Let's see.
It might be Indy. It might be a wash, actually. Might be 50-50.
I'm gonna guess that the Colts are like a 3-point favorite.
I mean, if it's a wash, we could put some money on it, me and you. We could make the first bet on Easy Sports history.
I wouldn't make a bet on that until I know that the best player involved in that game is playing or not.
Right. Indianapolis is a 2-point favorite for that game, actually.
Okay, so it's pretty close. That means that they're saying that they're saying that Green Bay is actually the favorite. As the home team, you should, if it's a complete wash, the home team gets a 3-point advantage.
Right.
So that's virtually saying that Green Bay's the favorite in that. But yeah, I'd have to see if Devontae Adams is playing. If not, I will say that Alan Lazard is back. They just activated him off of IR. He's coming back from that core injury that he suffered a couple months back.
Right.
He's a very good receiver. He played in 3 games this year. The first 3 games of the season, fantasy wise, he actually put up very good numbers in those 3 games. I don't remember what the specific point totals were. I know 2 of the 3 were double digits, and the 1 was just a shade under 10 fantasy points in PPR. And on the flip side, Michael Pittman Jr. just completely took over last week It looks to be the number one now, or at least Phillip Rivers' favorite target in Indy. I think he finished with 10 or 11. I want to say 10 receptions last week. T.Y. Hilton hasn't done anything all year. I own him in another league. He hasn't done a damn thing. I don't know where he's been. I know he's suffered some injuries. That seems to be his MO. Throughout his whole career. The guy can't stay healthy.
Right.
But right now, I'm going to assume that Devontae Adams plays, and I see Green Bay as winning that game. Aaron Rodgers inside of a dome, inside of a closed stadium. I know that they're going to probably have their roof open if it's a nice day. But regardless of that, he's indoors.
It was open when we saw our game, by the way, which is dope.
That was a rarity, by the way. It was high 60s, low 70s when we went to Indianapolis.
Anybody watching this stream, me and Drew, we live in Bel Air, Maryland. We drove 10 hours, was it, to see the game?
9.5. Yeah, it's close enough.
With him driving, it was 9.5. I'm just kidding. So game 3 that I want to talk about is Browns versus Eagles. And before the season began, I made a prediction, by the way, that the AFC North would not lose a game to the NFC East. And since then, there's been a tie. I actually said that they'd go undefeated. So technically, there's a tie, so that's irrelevant. But I'm going to stand by that. I don't think we're going to lose a game to that. Our division's going to lose a game to their division. I think it's going to be Browns easy money win over the Eagles, who were injured, by the way.
Well, it's funny that you say that now. They are injured, but this is actually the healthiest they've been all year. This is by far the healthiest they've been all year.
Right.
I mean, you should have saw as a Carson Wentz owner in fantasy. God, by the way, gun to my head. What was I thinking? Sorry, Greg, if you're listening, or if you go back and see this later on. But Carson Wentz, sucks. I mean, I know that he's not having much help, but I've watched plenty of his games, and he just doesn't look good. Correct. He doesn't look good. Jalen Hurts, they need to start looking his way a little bit more.
You think so?
I know that a lot of fans, I know that a lot of people are going to make the initial comment of, oh, it's gimmicky. Jalen Hurts is just going to run. He's going to look good and flashy in the beginning, but he's not the long-term solution. He's a Lamar Jackson, or he's a I don't know. They're just going to think it's gimmicky. He's more of a runner than a thrower. But
we got a hot take button right here for Drew. Hot take.
But whatever works. I'm going to tie since obviously every running quarterback is going to be compared now to Lamar Jackson, at least in today's NFL.
Right.
And people love to hate on Lamar. He's 25-5. I'll take a goddamn winner. I'll take a winner. I don't care what his stats look like. If it's 3rd and 10 and he can run it for 10 yards, I'm talking about Jalen Hurts here. If it's 3rd and 10, he can run it for 10 yards, then give me that. Give me that then rather than Carson Wentz throwing a stupid pick.
Yes.
Let's see. Did you pull up the line in the Browns Eagles game? I do think the Browns are going to win.
You think the Browns are going to win too?
Yeah.
It's a Browns are a 3.5 point favorite in Cleveland, by the way.
So they're saying that the Browns are just a slight favorite.
Yeah, based on
that line could easily move back to 3 or 4. That half point. It's not going to go any further. It's up. It's not going to go past 3 or 4. It's going to stay right in between there.
Right. All right. Number 4, game 4, Falcons Saints. I got Saints are a 5 point favorite for this one. I'm going to go Saints. Atlanta, they're a good team. They got a good offense. They got your guy Calvin Ridley. Right? He's your guy, Calvin Ridley, number 2 on their team. Or you think he's number 1?
I think Julio Jones is being phased out as the number 1. I'm not saying that I think Julio Jones' time in Atlanta is done. I'm saying that I think Calvin Ridley has the amount of talent that Calvin Ridley has. I honestly think he's almost just as talented. I think that the gap between the two of them, talent-wise, is so small that due to the age difference, which is a big age difference between the two, that Calvin Ridley is being phased in as the number 1 in that offense. And look at the targets. Right. Look at when Calvin Ridley was healthy. Calvin Ridley, for most of this season, was getting targeted more than Julio Jones. And I'm talking about the games that Julio was playing as well, because I know that he's suffered some injuries earlier in the season as well.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley has missed the past couple of weeks, and he is questionable to return this week. He was limited in practice earlier today. They're not going to know until this weekend whether or not he goes or not. If he goes, then that's a big boost to Atlanta, obviously. But quite frankly, there's a few teams in the NFL that just know how to lose. It's kind of like there's a few teams that know how to win. The
Right.
Patriots know how to win.
They
Even
do.
without Tom Brady, they know how to win. They're going to win less without Tom Brady, but they just know how to win. And the Steelers,
Subject, by the way, I wanna keep talking about the Patriots for 1 second if we can. I was looking at the Patriots schedule. I want to look at that one more time. I think they could make the playoffs, and here's why. Let me go through your schedule with you right now. They're 4-5 in their division. I think they're 2 games behind two of the teams in their divisions. But hear me out. The Patriots are the Patriots, and the Patriots, by the way, when I said that they haven't been swept by any division opponent, they still haven't been swept by any division opponent, and they're playing those 2 teams that are ahead of them. They're playing the Dolphins again, and they're playing the Bills again. They're playing both of those teams again. I think, let's see here. They're playing the Bills in New England, and they're playing the Dolphins in Miami. Other than that, they play the Cardinals, which I think is a win. They play the Houston Texans, which is a win. They play the Chargers. That might be a toss-up. Rams might be a toss-up. And they finish the year against the Jets. So I think the Patriots could make the playoffs. If they don't win the division, I think they make the 7th seed. What do you think about that? They have a good chance here to make a run. Especially after they beat Baltimore in the game they shouldn't have won, by the way. I don't think they should have won that game.
well,
But-
I mean, they did play better than the Ravens. They ran it down their throats.
Yeah.
Also, Lamar Jackson is not the reason they lost that game. Lamar Jackson finished 24 of 34 in that game
Okay.
with five blatant, egregious drops in that game. And when I'm talking about blatant drops, I'm talking about there was nobody within 5 yards. There was nobody covering or blanketing the receiver or the running back, and the ball just dropped because they were playing in a monsoon.
Correct.
So 24 of 34 is already pretty good.
Well, that's why I said I think the Patriots got lucky because Lamar is not used to playing in water as wet as that. I mean, has he? Honestly, can you remember?
His
I mean,
water,
no games water as wet as that. I know it's a funny thing to say, but Lamar's an older quarterback. He's not that experienced as Cam Newton is, for example. He hasn't had those weather games, those big weather games. I think that was a big edge for the Patriots for that game. But I think they can make the playoffs. What about you? Looking at the schedule that I just brought out.
I'd have to look into. You have to look into way more than just that, because right now they're a long shot of making the playoffs.
They are a long shot, but they have the perfect schedule to do it, I think. And anyway, like I said, we got a couple more viewers here since I said what I said. So, like I said, they're 2 games behind the Bills, and they're 2 games behind Miami. And they play both the Bills and they play Miami, and they haven't been swept by either in the past 20 years.
I would bet you any amount up to $500 that the Patriots do not make the playoffs.
Okay. We'll have to make a bet like that. We're not going to make a $500 bet, but we will make a bet. We'll make a small one. Make something. We'll figure it out later. All right, let's go to a third game. Here.
Oh, I never said who I thought was going to win.
Game. Go ahead.
The Saints and the Falcons. First off, we don't even know who the quarterback is for the Saints. How could we? That's one of those games we have to come back to. He has not been announced the starter for that game.
Right. Well, I mean, the same was about Cam Newton. No, they didn't announce him as the starter, and everybody knew he was going to be the starter. Everybody knew it.
All right, so here's my answer to who I think is going to win. If Winston's the starting quarterback, I think the Saints win. If Taysom Hill plays, I think they lose. I don't like Taysom Hill. I think they wasted a whole bunch of money giving it to Taysom Hill. They gave him a ridiculous amount of money to be second, maybe third string quarterback on that team. He is the gimmick that people say that Lamar Jackson is. Taysom Hill is the gimmick that everybody says Lamar Jackson is. The guy can't throw a football. The guy was talked up so much when he had 2 or 3. I can count it on one hand how many pass attempts that he had in his NFL career when people said that he was better than Lamar Jackson. Jay Glazer, do you know who Jay Glazer is? I believe he's with
No.
CBS. I could be wrong. He's with some major sports broadcasting network as an analyst. He said, he tweeted, this was over this past offseason, that Taysom Hill is better than Lamar Jackson. He had attempted just a few passes in his whole NFL career. I have seen that man come in and completely kill all momentum for the Saints on numerous occasions. There was a game earlier this season when the Saints, I forget who they were playing. It was Monday night, though. It was
Right.
Monday Night Football. The Saints were playing somebody. I want to say the Chargers. It was a
Mhm.
close game. Obviously, it was close because every Chargers game is close. The Saints won, obviously. The Chargers lose every game, too, every close game. But I remember the Saints were driving. They had a 4th and short, and they took Drew Brees out, and they put in Taysom Hill, and he fumbled the handoff, or not the handoff, he fumbled the snap. That was the first appearance he made all game. His first appearance, he was responsible for killing the momentum, killing the drive, and turning the ball over. So if Taysom Hill plays, I like the Falcons, even though they're a team that just knows how to lose too, just like the Chargers.
Right.
I do not like Taysom Hill. I can't stress that enough. Total gimmick. What a waste of money.
Oh, Steve's here. He said y'all forgetting about Aaron Jones.
What are we forgetting, Steve?
Aaron Jones. Why are you bringing up Aaron Jones? Do you want to join Do you want to join us? By the way, we can go 3-way if you want.
Steve, were you here? Steve, were you here when we were talking about Davante Adams being questionable for this week's game? He had tweeted out earlier today on his own personal Twitter account that he suffered an ankle injury this past week that nobody reported on. He was the first person to report on it. I had said, I don't know if you were here for us talking about that whole thing, but I had said that if Davante Adams does not play, I do think that the Colts will win that game. But if Davante Adams does play, I do like the Packers in that, especially because the Colts are coming off of such a big win over their division rival Titans. And I know they're in Indianapolis, and that's their home field. But home field advantage this year there is none. Most teams don't even have fans, albeit the Colts do have 15,000, but they're definitely not putting 15,000 in there. That's for sure. Because Russell, you and I were there a couple weeks ago. That wasn't 15,000.
Yes, you're right. That was not 15.
That was at most. That was 10,000.
I would say 9, but yeah.
Yeah. At most around 10. At most.
And we worked at the Orioles for both. You worked there 2 years, so did I, right?
Yeah.
And we know about fan attendance because I posted it every day.
But yeah, like I said, I know it's the Colts home field. Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Doubt Adams is out though.
I doubt Adams is going to be out as well. However, as a Davante Adams owner in fantasy, like I said, that guy hurt me earlier in the year for a few weeks, but it's all right because every game he comes back, he puts up a solid 40 points.
No.
But yeah, Aaron Rodgers inside of an indoor stadium. Aaron Rodgers is dangerous. He's dangerous enough in Lambeau.
Oh yeah. Oh, is he? He's a top 5 quarterback right now. You think?
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next on our list of teams?
Let's see. Well, we didn't talk about Pittsburgh and Jacksonville, but I don't think we really need to talk much about that.
There's no need to talk about that. That's an easy one for Pittsburgh. If it's not, then I'm gonna take a lot of heat.
You're gonna take a lot of heat from a lot of people.
A lot of people. It's not gonna be pretty. All right. What's that?
A good one.
All right, go ahead.
Detroit and Carolina. In Carolina.
Ooh. So I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm a big fan of Teddy Bridgewater. Big fan.
Not in fantasy.
What's he doing? He's not that good in fantasy?
He falls into that same category of Derek Carrs and Matthew Staffords, and I'm not talking about Matt Stafford prior to this year. I'm talking about Matt Stafford this year. He falls into that same category of Matt Stafford's and Derek Carr's and Jared Goff's. Just total crapshoot.
Actually, no spread in this game too.
What's up?
There's no spread in this game. It's Lions at Panthers. So I guess it's like you said, it's the away team that's better than them, which is the Lions.
Either that's usually what that means, or there
Or
is,
yeah.
or there is some major injury or something holding up the line from being released to the public.
Right.
I don't know of any major injury. However, COVID could be relevant to that. I haven't heard anything COVID related to Detroit or Carolina.
Well, ESPN's matchup predictor. ESPN, by the way, is not a sponsor of our broadcast. They have a 54.3% chance of Panthers winning. So it's kind of in Panthers' favor, not that much, by like 4%, but yeah.
That's a total toss up.
Yeah, it is.
That's a total toss up to me.
Go Panthers. What about you? That's my pick.
That is a
And it's out of pure fandom for Teddy Bridgewater.
I'm curious to see if there's anything COVID related. Like I said,
Steve, if you're gonna talk shit, at least spell Jacksonville right.
he spelled it like they spelled Saxonville. It's all right.
Oh, really?
Oh no, I didn't even look at it, to be honest with you. No, he didn't. No, I was just defending Steve because he was calling an upset over your Steelers.
Right.
But yeah, I'll if I had the gun to my head, God forbid, I hope nobody's putting a gun to my head, but I would go Carolina. I watched the entire, because you know that I write for the Washington football team now, so I watched the whole game against Detroit this past week.
Right.
Prater kicked the 59-yard field goal to beat them, basically, at the end of as time expired, 27-24. I actually wrote an article predicting Washington would have won that game 27-24, but I picked the wrong game-winning field goal at the end. Albeit they should have. Let me tell you, Washington should have beat Detroit.
I changed your name in our chat, by the way. I wanted you to look at it.
What is it?
It says Drew Washington, football analyst.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, we can save that game. We can save that game for later.
I'd give you some credibility while we're here.
That's gonna be a fun one, by the way. I know it's two bad teams, but hey, any team in the NFC East is still relevant to making the playoffs.
Yeah, any team, any game, any team, any game.
But yeah, I'm gonna Carolina. I like Carolina just solely because they're at home,
right?
And not to go against what I said earlier about there is no home field advantage. There is a slight home field advantage just off of this small, minuscule things, such as they're used to the locker room. They don't have to travel.
They're used to the field.
Little things.
Yeah. Also, this next one, you're the expert in this one because it's your team, Bengals and Washington. I'm gonna let you take the floor for this one. What do you think?
Well, I do want to say they're not my team. I write for them.
You write for them. But...
I write for them, but they're definitely not my team.
Right.
I'm gonna need to get some red hair. Actually, I just did. I did. I should put that back on.
What do you mean put it back? That's your real hair.
Anyway, that's gonna be the biggest matchup in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I write about this all the time. In terms the articles that I write on my previews each week for whoever Washington is matched up against.
Right.
Which, by the way, my last 4 score predictions have been almost spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, just a few weeks ago, I called 21-20. Washington was going to lose to the Giants. They lost 20-19.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, 27-24, got the wrong winner. I thought Washington was going to kick the game winner at the end, not Detroit.
All right. So you're going Washington for this one?
I didn't say that. I did not say that. But I mean, just the biggest matchup that I see in that game, the most important matchup is Washington's defensive line, their defensive front. I call them the Ferocious Five.
Right.
A little play on words to the Jackson Five.
Right.
You have Chase Young, the rookie defensive end out of Ohio State. Everybody knows who Chase Young is. He kind of looks like the Predator if you've ever seen Alien vs. Predator.
Correct.
You got Deron Payne. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the defensive line over there. You got Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat out of everybody on that defense, aside from Kendall Fuller, who, by the way, is having a phenomenal year for Washington. He has been a complete lockdown corner over there at Washington. Like they had prior to last week's game, I'd have to check to see what the updated rankings are over the past 24 to 48 hours. But Kendall Fuller has actually been the anchor to their number one pass defense in the NFL. Again, prior to the game a few days ago, number one pass defense in the NFL. Nobody would have ever thought that.
All right.
But going back to the defensive line, Montez Sweat has had a great year. He's had the year. He's built off of last year. Last year he had a good year. He had a solid year. He showed a lot of promise, but he didn't have that monster year that people necessarily thought he was going to have. But he's having that year this year.
Right.
That offensive line for the Bengals is terrible.
It is. It's awful.
It is terrible. The Ravens have had, quite frankly, I know the Ravens have a great defense.
Isn't their kicker the best kicker in football right now, though? For fantasy purposes, anyway.
Are we talking about rankings here?
Yes, PPR rankings. Isn't he? What's his name?
I'll be honest with you. I don't go into looking at kickers rankings too often in fantasy.
This is because I thought I had him on my team, and it said number 1, and I was like, oh.
I can tell you, I know just 2 weeks ago, Jason Sanders was number 1 in PPR, but he's fallen off a little for the Dolphins. Daniel Carlson is third.
He's in the Vikings, right?
The Raiders. And Koo, the kicker on the Falcons, is up there as well.
How do you pronounce his whole name, by the way? I thought at first it was like Young Ho Koo.
I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name.
I heard it's different though, but Young Ho sounds pretty cool. Young Ho.
I'm not sure, but that's the way. That's what I'm gonna call him.
So many people draft him just because of his name in fantasy. It's hilarious.
But man, that is a huge mismatch for the Bengals right there. Their offensive line is atrocious. Joe Burrow has been getting absolutely slaughtered this year in terms of the amount of times that he's put on his back.
Correct.
The Ravens have had a hard time getting.
Sorry, my cat's trying to get them my pizza. Keep going.
For all of the hype that the Ravens get in terms of their defense,
yes,
and in the past they were used to being, everybody was used to them getting after the quarterback, like actually getting sacks.
Correct.
That's really not the case anymore. They struggle. They struggle to put they get a lot of quarterback hurries and they get a lot of quarterback hits. Matt Judon is actually, I think, tied for 5th. As of maybe prior to last week, tied for 5th in quarterback hits. But in terms of sacks, they're almost non-existent. I think the Ravens got almost a 4th or a 3rd of their sacks from that one game against the Bengals.
Right.
Do you know how many sacks the Steelers had against them last week?
Only 4. They didn't get as much as they thought they would. They had 4 sacks. Yeah, I know. Only.
I think that was about half of what the Ravens got when we played them, but still only 4.
I think they sacked them 4 times too.
What was that?
I thought the Ravens had 4 sacks against them too, if I'm not wrong.
I thought it was 7. I'm going to go back and take a look real quick.
Yeah. I thought we'd get a lot more because we had the best. The Steelers lead the league in sacks, and the Bengals get sacked the most, I think. So I thought they'd have like a 7-game sack, but it's all right. They won the game by a lot, so not much to complain about,
I'm actually taking a look real quick. Patrick Queen, Chuck Clark, Purnell. Oh yes, this was the game where every secondary player, every person in the Ravens secondary had a sack.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Keep talking, man.
So I was correct. 7. The Ravens had 7 sacks against the Bengals when they played each other.
Wow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. That if the Ravens had 7 sacks against the Bengals, then I mean Washington could easily match that. They have the potential to easily match that.
Right.
However, They've been more consistent than the Ravens have been. They have a more talented defensive front, by the way. Their defensive line has more talent than the Ravens, and they've been more consistent than the Ravens as well. Like I said, albeit they do have more talent, but they haven't been that consistent. They played against the Giants just a few weeks ago. The first game against the Giants, not the second game. The first game they played against the Giants, they only had one sack. Daniel Jones, going into that game, was the most pressured quarterback in the NFL. Number one most pressured quarterback in the NFL. And I forget how many pressures they finished with, but I think it was on one hand how many pressures you could count. And they only had one sack. So that's an example right there of the lack of consistency that even Washington's defensive front has had.
Right.
That game though, I think Washington actually wins. I did predict them. I've only predicted them to win 2 games this year.
Okay.
They have 2 wins. What's that?
No, keep going. I'm looking for my lighter.
The Washington has 2 wins this year. The first win that they got was week 1 against the Eagles. Nobody predicted that. They actually came back from, I believe it was a 14 or 17 point deficit at halftime, and they came back and completely dominated the Eagles in the second half. The reason why I know that is obviously writing for Washington, but again, I had Carson Wentz at the time. I was rooting for Carson Wentz in fantasy. But I did not predict them to win that game. They have 2 wins, and I think I predicted them to beat the Lions this past week, and I was wrong. And the other game that they won, God, who did they beat? I remember, the Cowboys. I predicted them to beat the Cowboys that game. The first game with Dalton.
Right.
But this will be the 3rd time this year that I predict Washington to win against the Bengals. And the reason why is because the biggest matchup in that game is so lopsided, and it's so lopsided in the favor of Washington. Also, on Washington's offensive side of the ball, the Bengals don't have a good defense either. I mean, they don't have a good defense. Everybody knows this. Antonio Gibson has a lot of talent. He's a really good rookie back. Only problem is they haven't been giving him touches. There's only been one time this year where he's had more than 13 carries. One time. That game where he had more than 13 carries, he finished with 20 carries for around, I believe, 128 yards and a score. So the one time they fed him the ball, he went off. He had a great fantasy day of over 20 points. Anyway, Scott Turner, the offensive coordinator, it's actually Norv Turner's son. He's Washington's offensive coordinator, and he has just not given the ball to Antonio Gibson very much. But when they do, he seems to make something happen. Also, Alex Smith, I know it's been a long road to recovery from that nasty injury he had. He threw for almost 400 yards this past week. I know that he wasn't flashy. He didn't throw for all these touchdowns. He wasn't putting up all these crazy points or anything. But I saw that whole game, and there were a few touchdowns that he missed. Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
There were a few touchdowns that he missed that he should have had, and the old Alex Smith would have had him. He just missed the touch. There was one corner fade where I believe it was Cam Sims. Up the right sideline that had his guy beat by a few yards. Just missed him. Just overthrew him out of his reach. Anyway, I think Alex Smith gets better. And I think that's just a given. With more time, he's going to get a little bit better and a little closer to what he was. I'm not saying he's going to go back to the elite game manager that he was in the past, because I don't think he will. But he still has the talent. He can still get better than where he's at right now. Cincinnati is not a good team. Joe Burrow is good. T. Higgins is having a great year, a great rookie season. I actually wanted the Ravens to get T. Higgins in the draft. But Washington's going to win that game. I really think so. Washington should actually be better than what they are. The game they lost to the Giants, they lost on a failed 2-point conversion at the end of the game. The game against the Lions, they should have won last week. The only reason why I believe they didn't is it was a 3rd and 10. The Lions had the ball around their own 35 yard line with less than a minute left in that game. And Chase Young was flagged for roughing the passer. He pushed Matt Stafford in the back, maybe about a half second after he threw the ball downfield. It was an incomplete pass, but that penalty ended up allowing the Lions to move to midfield and then hitting on a 59-yard field goal.
All right.
But I like Washington in that game.
All right. I said it before. I say it again. I think the AFC North sweeps the NFC East, and I'm going to keep going that no matter who the Bengals play, no matter how bad they are. We're going Bengals.
They are two bad teams going at it.
I mean, every team in the NFC East is bad, so I think that's why I think that Bengals can win each game. We'll see, though. We'll have to tune in. That's our second game that we've disagreed with, I think. Who was the first one?
The Steelers. Jacksonville's going to kill them.
No, we disagreed on another game, too. All right, it's fine. What's the next game we're looking at here?
The Jets and the Chargers. Chargers win.
Yeah, it's easy. That's not even worth talking about.
Joe Flacco, though. Joe Flacco.
You do have a veteran against a rookie, though. A Super Bowl against a rookie.
Super Bowl MVP, Mr. Joe Flacco. Joe Elite Flacco.
A rookie. Think about that. Flacco can lead them to glory. If anybody leads the Jets to glory, it's going to be Flacco, though. Let's be honest. Do you agree with that?
Are we talking glory here? Are we talking about one win?
I'm talking about one win, yes.
All right, that's what I thought. I agree. And he should have done so against the Patriots.
That's close.
There was absolutely no reason that the Patriots or that the Jets should have lost that game to the Patriots, being up by 10 points with 7.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Good teams. The Jets aren't a good team, obviously, but good teams don't lose that.
I got one question for you, by the way. Do you think there's any chance that the Jaguars get the first pick in the draft?
Any chance that the Jaguars get the first pick in the draft?
Yes. They have one. They have one win right now compared to the Jets.
Do I think they will? No. I think the Jets will. Do I think there's a chance? Hell yeah. They have one win. The Jets have 0. There's one game that separates them.
But you wouldn't bet money on it, or anything. You'd be completely against it, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't bet money on the Jaguars getting the first pick, but I would bet money on the Jets getting the first pick.
There you go. All right, cool. What's the next game?
Let's see. Tampa Bay and Los Angeles. It's Monday night.
Tampa Bay and Los Angeles.
It is in Tampa.
I'm going to go Tampa Bay. Shout out to my friend Kevin. He's a big Tampa Bay Bucks fan. I think that Jalen Ramsey is one person, and that they have too many options. And goes at easy.
I would have originally I would have picked the Rams.
Right.
The reason, and this is both very talented teams.
Yeah, very talented.
I'm not even going to get into the matchups in this. Everybody knows, the Rams are splitting carries between numerous backs: Darrell Henderson, Malcolm Brown.
Yes.
Those are the main two, getting the most 99% of the carries. You have Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. They run off of play action.
Right.
Again, I'm not going to get into all the specifics. Everybody knows all the big names Tampa Bay has. Tampa Bay will win that game. Tampa Bay was just embarrassed on a primetime game.
Right.
Tampa Bay was embarrassed the other week by the Saints. their division opponent on during prime time. They will not get embarrassed again. Matter of fact, they won't lose another primetime game in the eyes of everybody. When everybody's watching, they will not lose a second one when they just are coming, when they just had that big crushing loss against the Saints a couple weeks ago. And the Rams are coming off of a big win themselves. It's just
Yes.
If Tampa didn't lose to the Saints, if they would have beat the Saints a couple weeks ago, or if they would have lost a close game, I would have picked the Rams to beat this. But the Rams are coming off of a huge win. Tampa Bay is 2 weeks removed from a huge loss in prime time. Therefore, that is not a good combination for the Los Angeles Rams. Tampa Bay will win that game. I believe we've gone over. We have Denver and Miami in Denver.
Right.
I like Miami. Like Miami in that one. Am I still on the screen here?
It's black like your soul, but it's it's there.
Sorry about that. I was just noticing the time. Something I got to take care of.
No worries, dude. It's 12:38. I've been broadcasting for the past 5 hours. I'm a real G.
I think that's a problem, Russell.
I
We need to get another hobby.
guess so. We have 3 viewers right now this late at night. Look at that. What if anyone's a viewer, by the way, if you want to post anything in the chat and ask questions. Oh, there goes Steve. There it is. What if Aaron Donald gets too beady though? What? Too beady?
What's up?
Steve, or sorry, Shrimp Salad. I won't reveal your government name. Shrimp Salad says, "What if Aaron Donald gets too beady though?" What the hell does he mean?
First off, I just want to say real quick, anonymous man. That's a great Avi right there. You got great profile picture. Shrimp Salad. If you ever want to come on and you want to explain to people what the meaning behind your name of Shrimp Salad is, I'm sure we'd all love to hear it.
We would love to hear that story. That does sound like it's a really crazy story.
I have heard the reasoning behind it. I'm not saying it's an elaborate thing or it's simple. I'm not saying one or the other, but I've heard the reasoning behind the shrimp salad. But
Right.
I think other people need to know, what is it with shrimp salad?
I think I've heard the story too, but I think it might be in my dreams because I've never met this person before in my life. So I don't know what this is. What he's talking about that. But if he wants to come on the show, I can maybe send him the link.
There's one game that we didn't talk about. There's a couple actually. I was staying away from one on purpose.
Which one?
I think you can probably take a guess.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The Ravens game?
I was staying away from that one, or at least keeping it toward the end. But Seattle tomorrow night.
Game of the week for sure. I think it is.
Oh, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah, there's 3 games of the week: Cardinals, Seahawks, Ravens, Titans, and Rams, Buccaneers. Those are the 3. No, Chiefs, Raiders is another big game. There's a lot of big games this week. Wow, a lot of big games.
Seattle and Arizona tomorrow night. There's a lot. Seattle, I don't think Chris Carson's going to play tomorrow night. Again.
I think Seattle wins. I don't think Seattle lets the Cardinals sweep them, but we'll see.
Seattle has the 32nd ranked defense.
Do they really? No, they don't.
They're terrible.
They have the 32nd ranked. I knew it was bad. I thought it was like 25th.
Again, it depends on what we're going off of. It depends on if you're looking at PFF or if you're looking at total yards. Most
per game, is that what you're looking at?
Well, ESPN ranks them by total yards given up per game. It's pretty vanilla the way they go about it. I mean, it really depends on what you're looking at. But Christian Kirk tomorrow night. I'm calling a big game by Christian Kirk.
You do that every week, though, don't you?
And I would have been right 8 out of 10 weeks.
Aha! So you think he's going to just play like he has been?
Let me take a look at this real quick. Can you still hear me when I close out of that?
So yardage-wise, yes, Seattle is dead last, and it's not even close. Wow, it's not even close. That's insane. So and for the viewers watching right now, we have the 30th, no, the 28th, no, 29, 30, 30, or 29th team. We're going to go Houston, 409 yards allowed. 30th, Atlanta, 410 yards allowed. 31st, Jacksonville, 415 yards allowed. 32nd is Seattle. Like, remember I said 31st had 415 yards allowed? Seattle has 448 yards allowed per game. Ridiculous. That's not a good team. That's not a Super Bowl team. That team shouldn't be in anybody's top 5 overall because of how bad the defense is alone. It shouldn't do it. It doesn't matter how good the offense is. The defense can't play. The defense can't fucking play. Hey, Drew, you there? I think our buddy has left us for the time being. Let's call Steve. Let's put him on the stream for a second. Stevie! Steve, you're on the stream, my boy.
What's up, dude?
Yo, you're on the stream, Steve. Steve's on the. Shrimp salad's on the stream. Apologize for that.
Yeah, what you wondering? I turned it on, man. I'm watching your stream, dude.
Dude, do you want to join the stream with me and Drew?
How do I do that?
So do you have a computer, or you can do it on your phone if you want?
That's at my phone.
All right, that's fine. I'm going to send you a link. All you got to do is hit the button, and it'll tell you to type in your name, and then you'll come in. Is that how it worked for you, Drew?
Just do it.
I can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, Drew's muted.
It asked me to type in my social too.
No, it didn't ask you to type in your All right. I'll send you the link.
I don't know what happened, but I just wanted to say real quick. You said that I said I predict a big week from Christian Kirk. You said, "Oh, you say that every week."
Yes. And then
I
you
would have been right almost every week.
There you go.
Let me read off real quick his fantasy numbers. Week 1, he only had a point. Week 1, he was not involved in the offense. But since week 1, he has put up 8 points, 11, 12.8,
Right.
22.6, 20.7, 23.3, and 6.7. That is 3 weeks of over 20 points. And that is another 3 weeks of 10 plus.
That is nice.
That is very. I don't even want to count week 1. Week 1.
Andrews for him.
What's that?
I'm trading Mark Andrews for him. Wait, here's Steve's here.
Hey, boys.
Hey.
I think Christian Kirk has a huge week. Read off those stats again. I missed it because I was doing this shit.
Okay, so week 1, due to the fact that this was a COVID season, and week 1, a lot of offensive players don't tend or don't seem to be incorporated in week 1 because you're just getting you're getting your feet underneath you. He had 1 point in week 1, but if you take out week 1, he's had 8 points, 11, 12.8, 22.6, 20.7, 23.3, and 6.7.
Yeah, he's getting targeted. I mean, think about it. He's in his 3rd year. Everyone typically has a breakout in their 3rd year. That's usually the breakout year for receivers. And a lot of the coverage ends up going to DeAndre Hopkins, and Kirk is open right there in the slot or way deep. He's fast as hell. He's
A
on
lot
my
of-
fantasy team.
He's on my fantasy team too. He's my flex. Hey,
Yeah.
read
I
off.
put him in my flex over Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds.
Okay. What's your read off your fantasy team? I'm curious.
All right, let's see.
How many teams is it? Is it PPR? Is it 10, 12?
It's 12. This week I'm going with Herbert over Rodgers. And then I got Aaron Jones and Antonio Gibson, who I just got a trade for.
I like that. I've tried to trade for Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, I like him. And we're dynasty, so it was a big move. Well, now that I have Antonio Gibson, I don't need to start Drake or Edmonds, unless they're flex, really. So I got them, and then I got Michael Thomas, who's been a shit show since he got back. Like, last 2 weeks have been garbage. And then I actually lost to Russell this week because of my receivers not performing at all.
I beat both of you bitches.
Hey,
My receivers and my tight end combined all didn't get. Listen to this. I had Kirk, Michael Thomas, and Travis Fulgham, as well as the Rams receiver or tight end,
Right.
who I had to pick up because I had Kelsey on bye.
Everett or Higbee?
Yeah, Everett. All
Everett.
4 of them combined got like 80 yards receiving last week.
Rough week.
Yeah, but I think it's going to turn around. I think Christian Kirk. Okay, I'll go back to my lineup. So Herbert, Aaron Jones, Antonio Gibson, Michael Thomas, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Travis Kelce, Jason Sanders, and then I'm going with the football team's defense.
It's a good matchup.
Yeah, I'm playing the number 1 person this week, so I gotta put it up there.
Now, I don't know if you're everybody who doesn't follow the football team, they all know that the defensive front has all the talent in the world, headlined by Chase Young. But like I said earlier, I don't know if you were listening, but Kendall Fuller, Kendall Fuller has been a lockdown corner this year.
Yeah.
And Washington prior to this past week had the number 1. I don't know. They still could be number 1. I'd have to check. But
Yeah.
prior to last week, they had the number 1 pass defense in the NFL.
Number 1?
Number 1.
Pretty good. Yeah, that's what I thought. Their defense is tough. They need to get it together on offense. I think the football team might be the best well-rounded team in that division. But I saw something earlier. They were like saying Daniel Jones was the best quarterback in that division.
You guys think about that? As Ravens fans, hold on. As Ravens fans, both of you are big Ravens fans.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is he's a mobile quarterback. Nobody even knew he was mobile before this year. I mean, I didn't know that. You might have known he was mobile.
I mean, it's not the problem with him being mobile. It's the problem with his passing accuracy. He's always throwing behind his receivers.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that game the other night, the night game where they were playing. I guess it was who was it a couple weeks ago?
They played Cowboys, maybe. I don't know.
No. I think it might have been the Bucks.
Eagles.
Didn't they play the Bucks?
The Eagles. Oh, they did play the Bucks. They should have beat the Bucks at the end.
The Bucks, but he was
They should
throwing
have.
behind his receivers every time.
But they completely dominated the Bucks all game. They owned the Bucks all game. The Buccaneers stole a win. The referees at the end of that game. That was pass interference. It should have been.
Well, also, but if he wasn't throwing behind his receivers all game, they would have won the game.
As a Ravens fan, though, you should know that throwing behind your receivers, Torrey Smith, can draw some pass interferences.
I mean, yeah, but still, like, I'd rather catch the ball. I'd rather him throw it on time. I mean, he was a split second off from being good the whole game. If he got that together, which I don't think he's going to, because that's not something you can really teach that well. It's something that's either you got it or you don't, I think. The timing.
I wanted to say we both lost to Russell this year, but it's better to lose the battle and win the war.
Okay.
Oh, he got lucky. My receivers didn't perform for shit.
I don't think I'll make it to the playoffs in our league. I already traded for the future when I got Dobbins. If you saw that, by the way.
Yeah, I saw JK.
Yeah.
that's a good move.
Do you think you like that move for me, or do you not like it? 'Cause like short term, it sucks for me because like I'm moving Connor.
I mean, I think it's a good move.
Do you?
I'm the one who told you to make that move.
Yeah, you did. I called Drew and I was like, Drew, I need your opinion on this trade because he's not in the league. So he was like, good unbiased opinions. Because I don't want to ask you, Steve, because then you'd tell me the wrong thing, and then you'd be like, ha
I mean,
ha.
you were playing me. I would have definitely gave you the wrong advice, but you still started him against me.
Yeah. I did. Well, I mean, yeah, that's because that was his last game for me.
Let me say this real quick. This is something Russell's not going to like to hear because Russell's going to say, oh, he's going to roll his eyes. You said you have Calvin Ridley on your team, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm really. What's it looking like? I saw he's like limited right now.
He's questionable. He was limited today in practice.
Yeah.
So Russell happened to play me during the week that Alvin Kamara was on his bye. Russell happened to play you during the week that Ridley wasn't playing.
God, here we go.
Right.
Lucky him.
Lucky he didn't play Ridley when he's in his prime, man. Ridley's
Well,
a beast this year. He's another third-year receiver right there who's having a breakout year.
Yeah.
He's got one excuse for every time he's ever lost in anything.
I hate. Who do you got this week? Saints with
I got Saints with Winston.
Jameis Winston or the Falcons?
See, we talked.
And we did talk about this, but I will agree with Drew with this because Drew said that if Taysom Hill starts for the Saints, they're going to lose, and I agree with that. But if Winston starts, they're going to win.
Taysom Hill's the biggest gimmick. Like I said earlier, Steve, you probably weren't here. Taysom Hill is the gimmick that everybody that hates on Lamar says Lamar is. He's the gimmick that people say Lamar is.
Well, we haven't seen him start a game yet, so
That's
that.
half of my point right there. Taysom Hill was deemed, Jay Glazer?
Yeah.
He tweeted over the offseason after they gave Taysom Hill his contract that he's a better Lamar Jackson.
Hey, do you guys want to get my Beatty comment off the damn screen?
Russell's in charge of that one.
It was Brady.
Talk about that.
It's called autocorrected it being almost 1 a.m.
Well, you meant to say Brady?
Hey,
Yeah, it's supposed to be Brady.
hey, Russell, the girl's not too happy with me that I told her I'd call her back, and I've been on this stream for 2 hours.
I invited Stefan to this
Tell
comment.
her to watch the stream.
Yes, Steve. We went to the Indianapolis game a couple weeks ago, and I think I met my future wife in Indy. Go.
Yo,
What'd you say?
was
What?
his name Andrew Luck?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Mr. I'm retired at like 29.
I think that day I think he woke up that day actually and told everybody that he didn't understand what he was doing or what his career was, and they probably told him they forced him to do that. It was CTE, man.
Yeah.
There was a giant. Me and Drew went to the Colts game. There was a giant Peyton Manning trophy, and it was like a 15-minute line to take a picture with him.
A statue.
Yeah, trophy, statue, same thing.
Hey, look at this, guys. We got the black cat from the Giants game right here.
Oh shit! I got a black cat here too.
It's not my cat. It's a stray cat we take care of a little bit.
Mine's not my cat either. I don't know what it's here.
Hey, Steve, it's good to get another person's advice, somebody who is into football as much as Russell and I. But I let me tell you, I'm tired of asking Russell for his opinion. So let me ask you, let me run my team by you real quick.
Let's hear it.
All right, so I'll start off by saying so last year I got Lamar Jackson in the 10th or 11th round, right? And it was the biggest blessing I could have had.
That's pretty good for 10th round.
Oh, yeah. Nobody thought he was going to do what he did. Anyway, this year I completely disregarded the quarterback position. I went best player available, and I loaded up on receivers and running backs, as you should in fantasy. And
Yeah, absolutely.
So I went with Carson Wentz as my QB1. I cut him. I dropped him like a month or so ago because it was just so terrible. Anyway, now I have Matt Stafford and or Derek Carr. So or Jared Goff. I've done something I've never done before and put 3 quarterbacks on my team because I don't intend on trading for a quarterback, and I solely intend on. I'm totally okay and content with using using 2 bench spots and using matchup based quarterbacks for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So aside from that, my first round pick, I got Alvin Kamara, the best fantasy player this year so far. I ended up making a trade a few weeks back and acquiring Ezekiel Elliott. I know. It hasn't been the best over the past couple of weeks. I think it'll get a little better, but
I mean, I don't know.
he's gotten 2 of
Who's
his
playing
linemen.
quarterback now?
Well,
Jerry Jones?
no, Andy Dalton's back.
That one backer is pretty good. I still think the quarterback that played Pittsburgh did a really good job.
Yeah.
What his name
So-
was. He did a great job. They almost won. They almost beat the Steelers.
You and I have a couple of the same players on our team. So I have Alvin Kamara, Ezekiel Elliott, Melvin Gordon, and Tony Pollard as all the running backs on my team.
Yeah.
I have Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Alan Lazard, and Tim Patrick as my receivers.
Okay.
TJ Hawkinson is my tight end. And Daniel Carlson is my kicker for Oakland. And I have the Rams defense. This week I have the Dolphins against Denver.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you to pick 5. I'm gonna name off a couple, like about 7 or 8 people, and I want you to pick 5. Okay.
Okay. In what context?
2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex.
I'm picking 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex.
Yeah.
Okay.
For this week. All right. Aaron Jones,
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson, Michael Thomas, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Travis Fulgham, Chase Edmonds, Kenyon Drake. You get 5 of them.
You have to do Aaron Jones.
Of course.
You have to do Christian Kirk. The matchup's unbelievable.
It's too good.
The matchup is unbelievable. Even if he doesn't, it would be really, really disappointing if he didn't have at least 10 plus fantasy points tomorrow.
It'd be terrible.
But
I think he'll have 20. I think he'll get a touchdown and a good bit of yards and catches.
his MO is like a bomb a game.
Right.
And also, one play, you can get like an 80-yard touchdown out of nowhere.
Yeah, I had my 70, 80-yard touchdown with Christian Kirk when I was playing Russell. He watched it live. I almost beat you, Russell, even without Alvin Kamara.
Yeah. I'm the winner though, you know. I beat everybody.
Actually, all I needed to beat Russell, Steve, in that final that week we played was a catch at the very end of the game. On the last play of the game, I needed a catch by one of my players.
Dang, man.
So
But-
Aaron,
For all the viewers right now, we just got a couple more viewers. You can post any questions you want in the comments, and I'll put them on the big screen. We can talk about them.
and earlier Russell said they can't be inappropriate, but hey, if you have any questions regarding your significant other, if you should move on, you need relationship advice, Steve is here for you.
I am not here for your relation. I can't even see the chat. How do I see the chat? Do I click on the chat button?
That's a good point. If you can't see the questions, that's a good point.
Is that the chat right there? It's in there. I can't tell.
Yeah, no one said anything since you did, but we got like 2 more viewers.
Yeah,
now.
I can see the chat now. It's all me.
Okay, so Aaron Jones and Christian Kirk, those are the 2 definites. If Calvin Ridley plays, you have to play him.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't play, this makes your decision so much easier. Who does the Eagles play? Who do they play again?
I know
Russell.
it's a good matchup,
What's that?
Who do the Eagles? Oh, they play the Browns. Okay.
and that's supposed to be a good matchup. They're like,
However, I'm worried about Fulgham though, because
he has 1 for 5 last week.
one for yeah, we only had one catch, but that's not what that. I'm worried because Goddard has come back.
Rager has
And-
come back.
What's that?
And Rager's come back too.
And Jeffrey's come back.
But Jeffrey's old.
I understand, but I just think it's so engraved into Carson Wentz's head. Like, oh, I have all my homeboys back. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't. It's only 1 week, but if Fulgham had another week like he had last week, I would press the emergency button on him right away.
Yeah.
I would anyway. So with that being said, I would definitely. If Ridley plays, you start him. Aaron Jones, Christian Kirk. So that's down to what? Antonio Gibson, Michael Thomas, and that's
Kenny
it.
Drake,
Oh,
Kenny
and
Drake, Chase Edmonds, and Fulgham. And Marvin Jones too, but
I would stay away. I'd stay away from the Cardinals' backfield, man. Just Michael Thomas.
it's a question every week. You're really shooting darts in the blind, you know.
The
That's
Falcons.
why I'm so happy I got Gibson.
You have to, man. It's Michael Thomas. If he plays, you have to start him. I don't think So if this makes sense, I don't think Michael Thomas. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if almost every name that you threw up there did better than Michael Thomas. But if he plays, you have to start him.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't not start him. I'm gonna turn on the light in
I
here.
agree with you. You can't not start Michael Thomas. He's just too,
So
He's too dominant when he's
I
there.
think it really comes down to whether or not Ridley plays. Because if Ridley plays, your decision is super easy. You got Thomas and Ridley as your receivers. You got Aaron Jones as one of your two running backs. Your flex would be Christian Kirk, and then
Gibson.
your other running back, it would have to be Gibson. He's going up against the Bengals.
Yeah, that's what I have set up right now.
If Ridley doesn't play, though, all right. So let's assume Ridley doesn't play.
Right.
Then Aaron Jones and Gibson as your running backs, Thomas and Kirk as your receivers, and then
Yeah, who would you flex?
you'd flex. It would be down between
It would be
Fulgham.
Fulgham, Kirk, Drake, and Marvin Jones.
Well, the line. First off, you'd have to see if Kenny Galladay's playing, which I think he's. I think he's on
I
the
think he's
track.
supposed to be back.
If he is, then I would just not even think about Marvin Jones.
Yeah. I wish I thought about Marvin Jones last week. He got more receiving yards than everyone that I put in.
You should have thought about him last week because Galladay was not playing and Hawkinson was playing at 50%.
Jesus.
But I really don't like the Cardinals backfield at all, so I don't really pay too much attention to them, to be honest with you. Who's the pass catching back out of those two? Is Edmonds a good pass catching back?
Edmonds is.
I'd have to take a look at his numbers in terms of pass catching.
Edmonds is the best pass catcher there, for sure.
What did you say?
I said I'm pretty sure you're right about Edmonds being the pass catcher there.
Yeah, he is. I know it. I have them both on my team.
Right.
Hey, Ian, I know you're there. I know you can't talk, but I know you're listening right now. You missed about 2 hours of Russell and I going at it. We discussed the winners of every game. We discussed a lot of Ravens football, all the injuries they've sustained, power rankings, quarterback rankings. You missed a lot, man.
Shout out to Ian. How's it going, man? Thanks for coming. Appreciate you, man. By the way, you viewers, you can post anything you want in the comments. I don't know if it's you, Dustin, but say something. Yeah,
What, is Dustin here too?
I invited him. I hope he comes. He's a cool dude.
So let's see.
Ian.
So Edmonds is like averaging about 3.5 catches a game.
Yeah.
Ian, what's your biggest
He
upset of the
probably
week?
gets about 8 to 10 touches a game.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Actually, I'm looking at this. He's got 25 carries in one game, but the next most he had was 8 last week.
Yeah,
And then-
so he had he started. That was the week he started. He had 25, and he didn't do very well as a starter.
Keep the screen.
Oh, all right. So Russell, I'm gonna need you to take a back seat real quick so I can run this over or run this by Steve.
All right, that's fine.
Because you already know about it.
I know all about it. I'm pissed off about it. I'm being quiet about it.
So Steve,
Yeah.
we're having a party tomorrow night. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
I'm in Florida. I will not be there.
I know. Anyway, there was a trade. We have a 12-team PPR league. And there was a trade in our league that went down that was absolute dog shit. However, I know that you read articles.
Yeah.
And I know that, correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. I'm assuming that you've read that, at least on my end, 99.9% of all the articles that I've read from fantasy experts and fantasy podcasts say that in regards to trades, that the league commissioner and the people within the league should not get in the way of a trade unless it is 100% without a doubt collusion.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've read that as well, right?
Yeah, I've read that before.
And you agree with it, right? I agree with it.
So what they say is that even if it's a terrible trade, like you look at it and you're like, that makes no sense, that's not fair at all, you're supposed to let each and every individual run their own team the way they should run it and make their own conscious decisions.
I mean, if it was clearly like a bullshit trade, like let's say someone traded let's say, sorry, I had to plug my phone.
It would be really funny. It would be really funny if Steve said the trade right now that happened in our league. But go ahead.
Let's see. Let's say it was like, sorry, I'm gonna lay down, y'all. But let's say it was like,
Wrong bet anyway.
let's say it was Dalvin Cook for like James Conner.
I'm gonna be honest though. I thought you were gonna go way more extreme than that. I feel like that's not
as extreme as it could be. But let's say it was Dalvin Cook for like a third string running back, like Wayne Gallman.
There you go. There you go.
That's just a trade that doesn't make any sense, and you know.
And there you go. See,
cheating.
the one you said before, Dalvin Cook for James Conner, would be a terrible trade. But at the same time, that would be a trade that I would have no business of. I would just put that through. If I was league commissioner, I would put it through.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like it at all. I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, not at all.
Anyway, so it's going to take a minute to explain everything here. So there's a team in our league that's 4-6.
Yeah.
He should be 6-4. He lost 2 games by a fraction of a point.
What a bum.
So he's 4-6. It's his second year doing fantasy football ever. He hadn't done it in 10 years. His brother's also in the league, his older brother. His brother is 6-4. He's played fantasy.
I like how nobody said anything about your hair this whole time that we finished. Not one person has said it.
It is what it is, man. It's my hair. Anyway, so
yeah, that hair looks ridiculous. Okay, continue to talk though.
there was a trade amongst 2 teams. One of them is 4-6. One of them is 6-4. The one who's 6-4 probably is going to make the playoffs. Probably. The one who's 4-6 would have to win the last 2 and hope somebody loses. He could still make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy who's 4-6 has Chris Carson. Chris Carson is not the Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara type back, but he's like the James Conner level type back. You know what I mean? Probably better. But Chris Carson.
Get that shit out of here. The guy that made this is gonna make me never come back.
Is this turning into a porno?
Show off my knees.
You like your bed? Come on. I thought it was something else at first. I looked over at it.
I'm cracking up right now. I haven't even had anything to drink.
All right. So
New hair.
new hair. Who this?
He's had the same hair the whole time, dude. It's always been.
All right. So Russell, would you let me get this out already?
All right, I'm sorry.
It's gonna take forever. So Chris Carson, the guy who's 4-6, has Chris Carson.
Right.
Chris Carson hasn't played in the whole time that he's acquired Chris Carson over the past month. He hasn't played a game, right?
This is wrong. This
Steve's
that?
the calendar's wrong. It ain't no longer that month.
All right, I'm gonna have to summarize this a lot faster than I originally thought.
No, keep
Are you still following, Steve?
being distracted.
Yeah, I'm still following. I'm just fixing the calendar because it's in the wrong month.
All right, so the guy
You
who's
lost.
4-6, the guy who is 4-6 is trading Chris Carson to his older brother. His older brother's 6-4, right?
Yeah.
In return, save your comments for the end just so I can explain it all and then just let you talk. In return, he's getting Justin Jackson and Jordan Wilkins for Chris Carson.
What?
Justin Jackson is on the IR right now. He was the starter over because Eckler was on IR. But Justin Jackson is also on the IR, and they're both set to return at the same time in a couple weeks. But first off, that's completely Jackson, Eckler, completely irrelevant because there's 2 weeks left in fantasy regular season. So it's completely irrelevant because the guy who's 4-6 is getting Justin Jackson.
Justin Jackson doesn't matter.
Yeah, so he doesn't matter. So then there's Jordan Wilkins that the guy who's 4-6 is getting. So here's the deal. I texted the guy who's 4-6. They're brothers. Keep that in mind. And the guy who's 4-6 said, look, man, Chris Carson, I've had him for a month. He hasn't played in any games. He's giving me 0 points. And he's probably not going to play tomorrow night, from what I read anyway, from Adam Schefter. If he doesn't play tomorrow night, it's the same injury that Cam Newton had last year in the foot that lingered on and on and on, and they kept ruling him out. He said the reason why he's giving up Chris Carson is because he said, honestly, fuck it. The reason why is I'd rather have Jordan Wilkins, somebody who's going to give me – he doesn't have a second running back. Keep that in mind. His running back depth is like this.
Yeah.
Aside from Chris Carson, it's like this.
Yeah.
He said that he told me Wilkins is going to get him some points, and it's better than 0. He said he's sick and tired of getting 0 from Chris Carson, and he doesn't even know if Chris Carson's going to be even available for the last 2 weeks. So he's trading Chris Carson for those two. And I saw the trade. I understand his point of view. If Chris Carson doesn't play tomorrow night and doesn't play next week, then okay, I guess you have the right to get Jordan Wilkins for nobody. You know what I mean?
Is Justin Jackson coming back at all? I mean,
not in the final 2 weeks of the regular season.
No.
So, yeah, those are brothers right there that pulled that off.
Yeah,
Terrible.
I mean,
but
if it was Dynasty, I think it would be fair. But I think that it's a pretty bad trade.
See, we all are in agreement that it's a bad trade. See, now here's the thing. As league commissioner, it's been a while since I've had to deal with controversy like this. Russell made me deal with some bullshit a few years back.
Yeah.
But as you know, we all know, Russell puts us through the ringer sometimes. But yeah, as league commissioner, from a moral standpoint, I don't want to get I hate to get in the way to veto a trade because everywhere you look says you're not supposed to unless you can prove 100% that that's collusion, even if it's the worst trade.
I mean, let's say someone decides they want to trade AJ Green for Devontae Adams.
Well, the only reason this trade, if that happened, that would be different. But the only reason this trade is so intricate and so tricky is because Chris Carson, the talent level. If Carson was playing right now, I'll tell you what. If Carson was playing right now and fully healthy, and it was Carson for Wilkins, I'd veto that trade, and I would tell them both. I'd put them both in a group chat and say, "This is what's up. It's not a fair trade."
Yeah.
but Carson's not playing, and we don't know when he's going to come back. They said he was going to play 3 weeks ago. They said he was going to play. They guaranteed it, and then they said he's ruled out. 2 weeks ago, they said he was going to play. Then they ruled him out. Last week, they said he was going to play. They ruled him out, and then they said on Sunday, Adam Schefter said that it was literally a guarantee that Carson plays Thursday night, and now he's questionable. And Schefter said he's unlikely to play. This is the same injury that Cam Newton had last year, where they kept.
You know what he
ruling
should
him
do? He
out.
should pick up what's that dude's name? Alex.
Who's that?
The guy that used to play for the Ravens.
Oh, Collins.
Yeah, Alex Collins.
But the problem is, though, put yourself in my shoes. I'm league commissioner. I've never vetoed a trade. I've put through some really, really bad trades,
Yeah.
and I've hated it. I've hated it. But
I think if you don't feel right about it, you should just say no to it. But if you look at it and you understand where it's coming from for both teams, you see value for both sides, then it's a fair trade. But if it's a one-sided trade, it's not a fair trade. You should veto it every time.
here's the way I look at it.
I gotta make a phone call real fast.
In terms of value, the guy who's 6-4 is completely taking advantage of the 4-6 guy, getting a star player who he's going to be able to use in the playoffs in 3 weeks if he gets to the playoffs.
Yeah. By the way, that
But-
6 is a fucking rookie, and he shouldn't be out of trade.
But the guy who's 4-6 though, technically that's totally irrelevant, and they don't even correlate because the guy who's 4-6 doesn't care about the guy who's 6-4 and his potential playoffs. The guy who's 4-6 is only worried about the last 2 weeks. And from
Uncle
his point of view, Chris Carson isn't helping him.
Yeah.
So it's a different angle to look at.
I mean, Chris Carson will be back soon, I think. Wilkins is there now. I think that's the way the guy's thinking it. He thinks he has to win out to even have a shot at playoffs. He needs to get it at 7-6.
And he's tired of Carson being on the bench, getting 0 points.
Yeah. So, I mean, it does make sense from his standpoint. I wouldn't do the trade if I was him, but he did it, and that's just his choice, really. Jordan Wilkins, I mean, I don't want any part of that backfield.
Oh, I
When
know.
there's 3 dudes getting carries every week, like the Rams backfield. I don't want any part of that either. You don't know who the hell's gonna go off each week, and you're crap shooting it. Every time.
Honestly, there's 5 backfields I wouldn't touch in fantasy. One of
Let's hear 'em.
them you have on your team.
The Cardinals.
I just wouldn't. I think they have the best.
Been a headache.
I'll tell you in order of the 5 backfields I wouldn't touch, and I'll start off by I'll list them in order of the one I wouldn't touch the most to the one that I would touch more so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So number 1 would be the Patriots. I wouldn't touch. They would be the one at the top of the list. Wouldn't touch them.
Never. I never. Bellatrix, man. Never.
Never. Number 2, the Colts right now, currently. Number 3. Actually, I'm only thinking of 4. I was gonna say the Ravens and Cardinals.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
What about the Rams? You would touch the Rams.
Oh,
backfield?
yeah. Yep. There you go. Yeah, in that order. The Rams number 3, the Ravens number 4, and the Cardinals number 5.
Yeah, I would agree with that. See, I thought that Kenyon Drake was going to have a huge year, even though I got him last year in the draft for its dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
But he just hasn't. He's had a couple good games, but he's been out a lot. And then freaking Chase Edmonds somehow goes off. You just never know who's going to blow up, and that's just annoying to even have to deal with that. I like to know my guy's going to get the carries. I'll tell you who I hated this week with the first week having Antonio Gibson. J.D. McKissick, son of a gun. I hate him. 15 targets to that guy. What the heck? Give me 5 of those for Gibson. That'll just blow up his stats.
I can't.
You know what I mean?
I can't even express, man, how it makes no sense. So the offensive coordinator for Washington is Scott Turner.
Yeah.
What is that? Do you hear that noise on the broadcast?
Yeah.
Russell, is that you?
No, I hear it too. I'm not sure. Hold on. Let me mute myself. Let me just still
Sounds
hear it.
fuzzy.
Did you guys still hear it?
Not right now.
I think it's better. Sounds like
I
a
think-
mic is like bouncing into a wall.
I think it's coming from your end, Russell.
No?
I mean, because it
I'm gonna mute myself. Let me know if you still hear it. All right.
it was
You hear
Russell. It was Russell. No, there it is again.
Did you still hear it? I was muted.
It went.
We
It went
heard it as soon
quiet.
as you turn your mic on.
It's Russell.
Yeah.
But anyway,
All right. I'm gonna go to bed.
oh, one question before you go.
Have a good night, man.
I have a pretty loaded starting lineup.
That sounds not me.
Would you stick with? So I'm sticking with Christian Kirk. I'm sticking with Kamara. I'm sticking with Ridley and Adams. Right?
Yeah.
Would you stick with Zeke, or if you were me, would you take Zeke and would you package him with any combination of Tim Patrick, Alan Lazard, or Melvin Gordon? Zeke with any combination of them and try to improve at running back.
Yes.
Who would be your trade targets? You're realistic. Realistic trade targets. Don't say Dalvin
Maybe
Cook.
Aaron Jones has had a couple slower weeks. He could be a
I don't-
short shot.
I don't
If
think
I
I'd
got
be
a
able
trade
to.
for Aaron Jones that was actually worth it, I would have probably done it.
I don't think I'll be able to touch that elite category.
Antonio Gibson.
That's one that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
That is
You
one.
could have a great end of the year. That was the one I was able to go and get.
Miles
I always
Sanders.
try to get Dalvin Cook. I always try to set a trade for like Dalvin Cook or some crazy shit, and I never get it. But
You got to try.
oh yeah,
Miles Sanders. Russell has him, and that's something that I was talking to him about. But I decided I don't know. Miles Sanders was another one that I was thinking about.
that would be a good one. I would get him before this week's server. I think he's playing against me, and I think he's gonna have a big game, and I want to be pissed off. I'm really hoping Boston Scott vultures all the touchdowns.
The only thing that's preventing me, that's holding me back with Zeke, is the fact that the volume he gets, which is king in fantasy, volume is important. The most important thing. The volume that he gets is through the roof.
Yeah.
And Dalton's coming back, and he just got back his starting center. And the week prior, he got back his starting right tackle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna go to bed. My thinking ain't happening anymore.
All right. You have a good one, man.
You too, guys.
Later, man.
How the hell do I leave? Oh, leave.
Stuck here forever.
All right, Russell. I'm going to head out as well.
All right, man. Have a good night, man. Good night, Easy Sports. Easy Speaks. Good night, dude.
Hello. It's just me now. What's up, guys? I don't know how this happened, but if you're still here, send me a message. How the hell did this happen?